How you guys doing, man? Got some of that good old Aldi's Mountain Trail mix, man. Mm. What's up, guys? How's everybody, man? How's everybody? I muted myself because I didn't want to hear y'all see me munching down on this good old mountain mix, man. Hey, Joe Curry, man. How about this, man? Y'all go back to Africa and leave us here, man, and we'll check back with each other in 50 years. What you think about that, Joe Curry? Huh? What do you think about that? You leave us this. You leave us this, America. Y'all all go to Africa. All white people go to Africa, and then we'll check back in 50 years and see how everybody's doing. Well, all right. Well, white people then. He said, "I'm not black. I wish I was." Too stupid, man. Yikes. Uh, wow. Um, we got this teen, man. We got a teen, y'all. I was a fiend before I became a teen. I melted microphones instead of cones, ice cream. um, he's just a teen, man. Just a teen. We gonna be doing some stories on teens, man, today, man. It's always the teens, man. It's always the teens, man. mm. I was a fiend before I became a teen. I melted microphones instead of cones of ice cream. He said black people don't have kids, they have co-defendants. Yo, it is wild. He wilding in the chat, man. My man is wild. I never paid attention to that dude, man. That dude is wild, man. He wild, man. Sorry, I thought I muted myself. I thought I muted myself. Damn. I thought I muted myself. Nah, them ain't pork man. That's my Asian. I'm going back and forth between my Asian trail mix and my mountain trail mix, man. Going back and forth, man. Yeah, man. Get y'all some food, man. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, man. Make sure you hit the like button. It's imperative that you guys smash that like button. It's imperative that you guys um support the channel. Yes, pay me, motherfucker. Yes. Yeah, man. I don't have to come on here and do this every night, man. I don't have to come on here and do this every night, man. Support the channel, man. I do not have to come on here and do this every night. I do. I'd enjoy it though. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy you guys. I enjoy you guys. You guys are a great crowd. I really enjoy you guys. You guys are a very great crowd. I'll give you that. Very lucky to have a great crowd like this, though. I definitely am very, very lucky to have a great following, a great nation. I am. Some nights I be tired as hell, Jack. When I say tired, I'm talking about tired, tired. And I'm not just talking about the nights when I fall asleep. I ain't just talking about the nights when I fall asleep during the live. I'll be tired. That's how I spilled that. That's how I got burnt my stomach with that damn coffee. Messing around with Sonya Massey and shit. Trying to drink some coffee to stay up for y'all, man. Who did all that in the bag of Asian mountain mix? Yeah, man. Mm. So our friend here, man, just 2 years after his heart transplant, he carjacked someone, robbed a house, shot an old woman, and finally got into a high-speed police chase that killed him. But of course, CNN used the picture of him playing chess. CNN, all these, they're the devil, man. We're the anti-CNN over here, man. We're the counterweight to CNN, man. We are the counterweight to CNN, man. Hit that like button, share this on your social media. We're the counterweight to CNN, man. This team got a heart transplant. You know how I got a buddy who had a daughter. He had twins, and one of the twins needed a heart transplant. And when the heart was ready, because they had, see, this is how heart transplant work. It works in zones, right? So because he was in DC area, because the heart has to become in 4 hours, right? The heart has to be taken out of the person and put in the next person within 4 hours. There's a 4-hour window, right? So you can only get heart transplants from people who pass away in your zone, in your little district, I guess you know, your little region. So a heart came open, a little baby heart, because she was a little baby. A little baby passed away, and then it was a baby heart available. They had to rush to the hospital. She had to go under, boom, and the heart had to be put in right then. And she's on antiviral, she's on immune suppressants. You can't even see her. We can't even go see her when we go visit them, because if she catches a cold or something, she doesn't have an immune system, because her immune system would reject the heart. So she has to be on immune suppressors, just so that her body doesn't reject her heart, which opens her up to everything in the world. Like during COVID, they couldn't even leave the house. Yeah. So this kid got one of those hearts, man. And listen, he got one of those hearts, and he decided to carjack someone, rob a house, and shoot an old woman, and then get in the car chase, and he died. And CNN does a story on it, and they have a picture of him playing chess. They have a picture of him playing chess. They have a picture of my man playing chess, man. You can't make this stuff up. I was a fiend. Before I became a teen, I melted microphones instead of cones of ice cream.
But somebody said,
I don't know why I keep saying my Bluetooth is connected and it.
that
There you go. Uh,
somebody said that I was playing a lovable bigot, and then the next thing you know, a lady in New York whom nobody had ever heard from in about 20 years wrote a big thing in the New York Times about Archie being a lovable bigot.
Laura Hobson.
Laura Hobson.
That's
yeah.
right. I remember that.
Well, I don't know about the lovable part of it. You see, what we're doing is we're really as I see it at least, we're presenting the story of a man who's basically a pretty unhappy guy. You people may laugh at him and enjoy him, but he's not really making it in the modern world at all. And you rarely see him happy about anything. And so one of the things that the main thing that makes him happy, of course, is this volume of errors. The errors that he's grown up with.
Yeah.
His racism and his bigotry, those are errors that were put upon him when he was learning things at his mother's knee.
Mm-hmm.
And he's grown up with these beliefs, these misconceptions, and they really are now poisoning his life. So you almost realize that while you're enjoying the show, and I'm delighted that you are enjoying the show, you must look at Archie as a man who could be getting a lot more out of his life.
Yes, this is Tim Waltz, guys. Yes, this is Tim Waltz. This is old footage of Tim Waltz speaking.
If he didn't have these burdens on him and these things that have poisoned his life.
Are people generally surprised? I was just thinking here, it's hard for me to adjust to hearing you talk, even though I'd seen you in pictures before and in other things. That image is so stamped now on people's minds that people are probably surprised to hear you talk without Archie's own, dialogue, own speech pattern, own accent.
Well, of course, anytime you want, I can laugh at
that. So this is on the internet now, and this guy says Archie Bunker is basically the quintessential embodiment of every MAGA fascist, including the loathsome piece of shit. Let's see what they say. Wow, Carroll O'Connor had a tremendous in-depth perspective of the character he was playing. This is fascinating and so incredibly accurate. I'm reading the comments, and I don't think many understand what he is saying. He is saying that his character is not lovable at all, that it is racism, and oh well, God. Carroll O'Connor, however, was a lovely man. I wish I would have had this video the other day when racist Roseanne Barr, the ultra bigot, posted a video of herself and another guy singing the theme song to All in the Family in Archie Bunker's living room. It would have been a nice tag on the thread.
Think a bomb went off in the lobby first, then a plane hit the building, then another plane hit the other.
See, the thing about these things, man, trying to make conspiracies out of 9/11 testimony from survivors, everyone has their own perspective when something happens. There's thousands of perspectives. Someone's looking this way, someone's looking that way, someone's standing here, people hear different things. I don't get into all that 9/11 conspiracy stuff. Um, Elon Musk is funny, man. This is hysterical. The same people who demanded that you have a vaccine ID to travel are now demanding that there be no ID for voting. Wow. Elon Musk is on fire. He's got to be doing something behind the scenes to please the liberal masters. Shout out to my man. Roger Wood. He said, for the little co-defendants, for salute the laughing dog. He says Walt said he went to 96% Finland that has tons of guns but very safe. I think he watches out. Yeah, man. Send them 20,000 Haitians from Springfield over to Finland. I guarantee you Finland will be talking about gun laws, stricter gun laws. Do you think Elon Musk is working both sides of it? Because he's so red-pilled, man. He's so off the reservation, man, that he's got to be doing something else. Another side where he's pleasing the liberals masters, the people that run the world, the people that run the media. He can't just be only doing this. He's got to be hedging his bet on the other side, man. You say he's too big to fall? Yeah, but anybody can fall, man. They can take anybody down, man. A woman, some woman could take him down, man. Some woman saying he did something could take him down. What are you talking about? A woman could take him down. Taxes could take him down. What are you talking about? He's too big to fail. Are you kidding me? Some chick say, "Hey, Elon did this to me," and that snowball into another woman, and then another woman, and then a lawsuit, then charges, and then next thing you know, seizing his assets. Man, come on, man, stop this stuff, man. Somebody's too big to fall. Okay, yeah, because this is insane, man. He's been on fire. His timeline is ridiculous. His timeline on here is insane. How do you tell who's telling the truth? The ones trying to silence the other people are the ones lying. There's a law passed in California that makes it illegal to ask for ID when voting. Yeah, I remember one time I did try to get in Costco without a Costco card. The dude stopped me at the door. He stopped me at the door. He was like, nah, man, I need to see your Costco card. I was like, damn. Fuck it. It'd be funny how they be all serious and pointed when it be coming. These journalists be all fucking nasty with the Republicans. That shit is so obvious, man.
Would you again seek to challenge this year's election results, even if every governor certifies the result?
What kind of question is that, you whore? You fucking bitch. Why would you ask something like that so pointedly? Why are you so angry, too? I thought you wasn't supposed to take sides, whore.
Would you again seek to challenge this year's election results, even if every governor certifies the results? I'll give you 2 minutes.
Well, Nora, first of all, I think that we're focused on the future. We need to figure out how to solve the inflation crisis caused by Kamala Harris's policies, make housing affordable, make groceries affordable, and that's what we're focused on. But I want to answer your question because you did ask it. Look, what President Trump has said is that there were problems in 2020, and my own belief is that we should fight about those issues, debate those issues peacefully in the public square, and that's all I've said, and that's all that Donald Trump has said. Remember, he said that on January the 6th, the protesters ought to protest peacefully. And on January the 20th, what happened? Joe Biden became the president. Donald Trump left the White House. And now, of course, unfortunately, we have all of the negative policies that have come from the Harris-Biden administration. I believe that we actually do have a threat to democracy in this country, but unfortunately, it's not the threat to democracy that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz want to talk about. It is the threat of censorship. It's Americans casting aside lifelong friendships because of disagreements over politics. It's big technology companies silencing their fellow citizens. And it's Kamala Harris saying that rather than debate and persuade her fellow Americans, she'd like to censor people who engage in misinformation. I think that is a much bigger threat to democracy than anything that we've seen in this country in the last 4 years, in the last 40 years. Now, I'm really proud, especially given that I was raised by two lifelong blue-collar Democrats, to have the endorsement of Bobby Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, lifelong leaders in the Democratic coalition. And of course, they don't agree with me and Donald Trump on every issue. We don't have to agree on every issue, but we're united behind a basic American First Amendment principle that we ought to debate our differences. We ought to argue about them. We ought to try to persuade our fellow Americans. Kamala Harris is engaged in censorship at an industrial scale. She did it during COVID. She's done it over a number of other issues. And that, to me, is a much bigger threat to democracy than what Donald Trump said when he said that protesters should peacefully protest on January the 6th.
Governor?
Wow. Damn.
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year.
Wow. This woman, her days are numbered. Damn, yo. They'll never invite you back. This your last debate.
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service.
Yeah, this is like his version of, I grew up in a middle-class family. That's his version. Yo, what the fuck?
Governor Walz, you said you were in Hong Kong during the deadly Tiananmen Square protests in the spring of 1989. But Minnesota Public Radio and other media outlets are reporting that you actually didn't travel to Asia until August of that year. Can you explain that discrepancy?
Yeah, well, and to the folks out there who didn't get at the top of this, look, I grew up in small rural Nebraska, town of 400, town that you rode your bike with your buddies till the streetlights come on, and I'm proud of that service. I joined the National Guard at 17, worked on family farms, and then I used the GI Bill to become a teacher, passionate about it, a young teacher. My first year out, I got the opportunity in the summer of '89 to travel to China. 35 years ago, be able to do that. I came back home and then started a program to take young people there. We would take basketball teams, we would take baseball teams, we would take dancers, and we would go back and forth to China. The issue for that was to try and learn. Now, look, my community knows who I am. They saw where I was at. Look, I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect. And I'm a knucklehead at times, but it's always been about that. Those same people elected me to Congress for 12 years. And in Congress, I was one of the most bipartisan people, working on things like farm bills that we got done, working on veterans benefits. And then the people of Minnesota were able to elect me to governor twice. So look, my commitment has been from the beginning to make sure that I'm there for the people, to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything, many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID. And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this is I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
Governor Walz.
She asked a follow-up, man. Wow. 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 That's crazy. That's crazy. Make sure you hit the like button, support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat, man. Wow. Let me guess. Tim Walz won. Let me just guess. Tim Walz did a great job, right?
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here on Walz's part.
I think actually it's the opposite. I think.
Damn, she ain't let her finish.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here. I think there was a clear lack.
Look how she immediately interrupts the black woman who's also a fucking Democrat shill when she tries to say Tim Walz didn't do good. Watch how she immediately interrupts her. Watch.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here on Walz's part.
Yo, this is insane how biased they are, man. We have to sit through this. We have to just accept this. This is unacceptable, man. I'm calling on real fucking conservatives to stop accepting this shit. We accept this. We're like, oh, the media is biased. No, fuck no. This is unacceptable.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here on Walz's part.
I think actually it's the opposite. I think he had too much preparation.
Maybe. Yeah.
He had so many lines that he was clearly trying to say that he didn't listen and said when J.D. Vance said one of the many things he really hit Kamala Harris on, not Tim Walz, but Kamala Harris. He didn't respond because he clearly had things in his mind. I think the lack of interviews that he has done with national media, with local media, it showed. He needed more reps.
Yeah, no, I
Dude is 70 years old and he needs more reps. He's been in politics all his life. He's been in politics and public service all his life. He's 70 years old and he needs more reps. Dana Bash is a shill, man.
Hit Kamala Harris on, not Tim Walz, but Kamala Harris. He didn't respond because he clearly had things in his mind. I think the lack of interviews that he has done with national media, with local media, it showed. He needed more reps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, J.D. Vance is much more experienced at this, at public speaking, at defending himself, at pivoting.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
You're free to disagree with me on this and explain this to me, but as I read the Minnesota law that you signed into law, the statute that you signed into law, it says that a doctor who presides over an abortion where the baby survives, the doctor is under no obligation to provide life-saving care to a baby who survives a botched late-term abortion. That is, I think, whether you're pro-choice or pro-abortion, that is fundamentally barbaric. And that's why I use that word, Nora, is because some of what we've seen, do you want to force Catholic hospitals to perform abortions against their will? Because Kamala Harris has supported suing Catholic nuns to violate their freedom of conscience. We can be a big and diverse country where we respect people's freedom of conscience and make the country more pro-baby and pro-family. But please, you're free to
Wow. Wow. Yo, they on Tim Walz's head, man. They are on Tim Walz's head.
Look, Minnesota, we protect these things. We've got about 20% of the world's fresh water. These lands protect. They're there for a reason.
She should have picked the Juice Crew guy, man. She should have picked the Juice Crew guy, man. Everyone hit the like button, man. Salute to my man, Eric Boatwright, man. He says, I know this is off topic, but do you see a scenario where Caitlin Clark walks away from the WNBA in the next 5 years? No. No. I think if she wins a couple championships, I think she wants to win a championship. So if she wins a championship, yeah, I could see it. But if she doesn't win the championship, no. But I think she'll still stay until she wins the championship because she wants a ring. She needs a ring to, all the naysayers and to prove all the naysayers wrong. Let's see. This documentary on Minneapolis, man. Let me bring the panel up, man. Make sure you guys support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. We need somebody to sponsor the show, man. We need some serious donors, man. Serious people to sponsor this show, man. We on Tim Walz's head, man. Pause. No. Pause. We on Tim Walz's head, man. I'm gonna bring the panel up, man. Bring your favorite panel on YouTube, man. Everyone's favorite panel, man. Everybody's favorite panel. The fucking cast of Saturday Night Live and shit, man. The nah, make them say, nah. I mean, she did need to pick a white guy. I do agree that Kamala needed to pick a white guy, but she picked the wrong white guy.
Yo, what up, Ock Nation? Press 1 if there's no solution, baby.
Man. Let's see what's going on, man.
It's obviously early on a Monday, but it really does look almost entirely different than what it once did, for sure. Before you'd come on a Friday or Saturday, there would just be people for blocks and blocks. You just kind of took your safety for granted. You have a police force in Minneapolis that's down about 40% from where it was at the beginning of May of 2020.
So back to 2020, the George Floyd incident happens. How quickly was it that the riots began and that you felt the unrest growing?
It was really by the second night that you knew you were, not safe. This is when the fires started. I worked at the local CBS station for nearly 15 years in all, but was married to the president of the police union, who was a longtime Minneapolis police lieutenant. That summer, we had 4 different protests at our house. One in which they brought piñatas of my husband and myself. We were beating piñata effigy in our driveway. There's about 150 BLM people there that day. But I was canceled. I was kicked off the air, essentially, demoted from my anchor role that I held, and had to look for another job. I always really believed in, kind of balancing the news and whatnot, but I really saw things change with COVID and especially with this George Floyd story in the sense that we weren't telling the public the full picture. We were helping to sort of, craft this narrative, and we were just fine pushing this on the public when we knew it wasn't true. I knew there was so much more going on with this, and I couldn't understand for the life of me why we weren't telling our viewers what the real story was. Yeah. These officers went to work that day. They followed their policy, and they're lifelong felons. They were thrown in prison for that. They saw evidence being manipulated.
That was the United Nations of cops, man.
Right. Diversity is our strength,
Right. I thought diversity was our strength, man. What the hell?
If you ask me, it was, man. This was a great, example of that, right?
Yeah,
they took a bad guy out of the streets. They should get an award.
Wow,
an Ock Nation Service Award.
I'm telling you, man, I'll give him an award. Salute to Dr. J. Crow, man. He says if Walz had any integrity, he'd pardon the George Floyd 4. Yeah, but no, if he did that, he wouldn't Yeah,
it wouldn't work out.
Suicide.
Yeah, it wouldn't work out. He'd be before that conference was done, he'd be gone.
Yeah, exactly. Salute to you, man. But that's just absolutely no way to
I
happen.
like it though.
Salute
I
to
like it though.
Charles, man. He says they took my favorite show, Cops, off TV because of crackhead overdose. Yeah, they took Cops off. What's the live? What's the live? What's the other one? Where they
Yeah, Live PD or something.
Yeah, Live PD. Yeah, they took all that stuff off.
Yo,
They took Cops out of cartoons. You know, they took Cops out of
Oh
cartoons.
yeah. I heard that they had stopped Paw Patrol for a bit. Think about it.
Yeah, Paw Patrol. Yeah, Propaganda. They was called. Yeah, this was.
Remember the
tried it
episode?
with-
Remember the episode where Chase he stopped a black German Shepherd? Remember what?
Oh, my God.
That was a deep episode. I cried. You know what I mean?
My daughter loves that show. She got
Yeah,
all
my
the little
kid, too.
action figures. Man,
Yeah.
But this whole thing with this Marcellus Williams guy, they tried to do that too recently. They tried to do it with the Javion McGee guy who they say got lynched in North Carolina. They've been trying to do it again, but this right here, what they did was absolutely masterful.
That was a hell of a year, man. I mean, him, Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake. They had a run. They had a hell of a run.
I got all that chronicled in real time on my channel.
Right.
A time capsule of all of that. And it was amazing, man. It was
incredible, man.
Yeah. It was
You know what?
absolutely-
Look, for me, it's as simple as this, right? I'm gonna simplify it for you, bro. I don't need to watch the fucking debates. I don't gotta watch them, because I know that when Jacob Blake, when that clip came out, and it was a tough clip, right? When they came out, soon after Joe Biden tweeted, "We need to end racism." But we come to find out that Jacob Blake was not only violating the order, being around the kids and the girl, but he was about to take the kids in her car. He beat those two cops and was about to leave, reaches under his seat. That's racism. So when Joe Biden and them did that, that's all I needed to hear for as long as that philosophy stands. I don't gotta watch the debate, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What's cracking, yo?
What's happening?
Yo, I was talking about the pandemic. That shit just reminded me of I've seen some crazy ass shit, man. That really was a time in history, man. That's one of those things you gonna tell your kids, like,
You had to be there.
yeah, you had to. Man, I remember like the first night in Philly, they was out there fucking looting. I had my aunt run a store in Philly and shit out Southwest, bro. These niggas was on the Ave, just dog. It felt like The Purge, but in real life, dog. Like these niggas, it was no cops, just niggas running everywhere, just looting everything in sight, just doing whatever. Trying to steal the ATM machines, running in these electronic stores. Like that shit was
You gotta
wild. Niggas was getting killed
Yeah.
in
You gotta-
furniture stores.
You gotta understand, dog, over here in this Blackistani in Providence, in that day alone, I think it was like 25 people murdered. 25 to 30 people died.
Yeah.
Because some motherfucker OD.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was so shocked that Chicago was protesting because when it first started, I was like, all right, Minneapolis, I can understand, and a couple other places. But when Chicago, because at that point, Chicago was like it when it came to black crime.
Right.
And I was like, Chicago's protesting for this guy. They have the unmitigated gall to protest for this guy's death. I said, "Oh shit!"
Mind you, I remember all that. Mind you, that same day, that same Memorial Day, right? It was a Monday, right? That day in you know the historic neighborhood of Brownsville, right? The historic well, you know what they like to call every neighborhood like the historic neighborhood of Lawndale.
Yeah.
I don't know why they like doing that, but whatever. Anyway, in Brownsville,
Oh, you said Lawndale or
No,
Brownsville?
No, I'm talking about they call them that, like the historic neighborhood of Lawndale. the historic neighborhood. You know, some people like to do that, but
Right.
in Bronzeville, I shit you not, on a single block, right? Like around 1 p.m., more or less, right?
Mhm.
The Stormers were shooting at each other. They hit a little girl. So the fucking pigs, right? They do a directed patrol in that same neighborhood around like 6 p.m. They stop some fucking sunwords, get guns off of them, right? And the whole neighborhood pops out on them, trying to free these sunwords. Mind you, a little girl just got shot, chief. They don't
Yeah,
give a fuck.
they don't care. They don't give a rat. The, that's the lack of the prefrontal cortex, though.
Story was. These officers went to work that day. They followed their policy, and they're lifelong felons. They were thrown in prison for that. They saw evidence being manipulated in that case. The officers in the 3rd precinct were basically fed to the mob. They were used as political pawns. They can't chase people in the city anymore. It's a use of force. If they handcuff someone, they have to call a supervisor. A lot of them, they rethink their every move, if you will. It's almost as if police officers have become like firefighters, sort of, waiting to put out the fire. Whereas before there was proactive policing, there would be more interaction that way, and there was also
Racist
a respect
policing.
and a bit of fear of the cops and whatnot. But that dynamic has certainly changed.
You have been covering Minnesota politics for over a decade. What should the rest of the country know about Governor Tim Walz for people who are unfamiliar?
Well, that's what I find interesting. He's being sold as this moderate, aw shucks guy who, will give us some dad jokes. But there's never been a more radical governor ever in Minnesota history. Legislation to turn Minnesota into a trans refuge state. Children can come here and change their sex without parental permission.
I want to shift gears.
Think about that, man.
Yeah, what a shithole. My God.
Yeah, think about this, though. Think about this. You go to your daughter's room or your son's room, teenage daughter's son's room at night. See if they're tucked in or something. You go in there, there's nobody in the bed, the window's open, the curtains are flailing in the wind.
There's a breeze.
There's a breeze coming through the window. Your kid's gone. You try to track him down, friends, whatever, you can't, you don't know where he's at. You finally, a fucking couple of months later, you get a call from your kid, and he's in Minnesota in a hospital recovering from transgender or what do they call it? Gender affirming care. Think about that. They call it. They call that shit gender affirming care. And you get a call from your kid, and he's like, all mad at you. Why'd you let me do this? I hate myself. I wish I would have never done it. And it's like, oh my God.
The irony act is that you know how Minneapolis is like Somalia now? Isn't Somalia where like they mutilate the
and that's where all of them go. But that's where all of them go. All the Somalians go to Minnesota, and they still do that. They do that up there. No one talks about it. But
are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, dude.
Jesus
if you sent Somalians to the moon, they would do that. That's
hold up. Are you serious?
Yo, my grandmother had that done in Nigeria.
But I'm talking about here in Minneapolis, though. In Minneapolis is happening, though? That's crazy.
Yo, did they do that when those Africans come here? They do that. Yeah, that's. I had a girl who had that done at one point. I didn't even know that what it was, but like when we was getting intimate and whatnot, I was like, what the heck? It was just weird. It was like, but yeah, listen, man. I've been with a girl who had that, man. And listen, man, she was just a hood rat, but she had come from Africa, and her parents brought her here from Africa, but she just became like a regular hood rat. I met her one day when I was riding around looking for hoes with my friends, and I met her and shit. We had like a little rendezvous and shit.
Some drinks and some smoke.
I was like 20 years old, but this is what I'm saying is that like those people, when they come here, they do just like how they eat their food. You ever go in their house that smell like their food? You see the way they dress the way they dress.
Yeah, I
I'm
seen
like,
that when I went over there. I saw it just was. I
yeah,
saw Somalian dress wear for sure everywhere.
yeah. The way you could tell an African by how he dressed, dog. They always got skinnies on and slides with no socks.
Sandals,
That's
No,
how
yeah.
I know it's an
but
African.
but but the female Somalians had the outright Muslim shit going. You know what I mean?
No, you
Whatever
no,
it
you could
is.
tell it's Somalian because they got them alien heads, dog. They
Yeah,
forehead big as hell.
they
Like,
do. They
And
look rough. They look
and they
rough.
have big teeth, and they got like sharper features than
yeah, them
Yeah,
niggas look like
sharper.
them niggas really look like ET, like but with
yeah.
like a big ass head.
But Ethiopians and Somalians are similar, but Somalians are like you can tell the difference between Somalian and an Ethiopian. But those people are called Horn Africans. They're not. I don't consider them sub-Saharan Africans.
Yeah, nah, it's not. You can just tell they're not. They're distinct.
Yeah.
They're
The
distinct people from the people we call black. Like they're their own little like
yeah
thing.
the the sub-Saharans, they're basically Sandman though, right? I mean, give more or less, right?
Oh,
Because
what?
Yeah.
that area was
Sub-Saharans are
dominated by
Sandman. What?
yeah,
Listen, man.
like the North
Listen, man.
Africa.
Listen. The those people in that region, the Horn, Bahrain, Eritrea, Somalia, Ethiopia, those
Right.
people right there, they are a hybrid race. They have a lot of different mixtures in them, but the one thing that they do have that make like they I think that they're closer to Africans than anything else. I think than anything else they're closer to Africans. Now they
Yeah.
have a written language. I don't know how old it is, but they did have a written language, so that separates them from Africa. They did have a religion that was like the Coptic Christians and whatnot. They did have kind of like a religion, but
Yeah.
at their root, at their base, when you just put them like out there and you just watch them and you just monitor their behavior, they niggas.
Mm.
They're
You know what?
sunmen. I would
Yeah.
classify them as sunmen.
Right. You know, I'm reading a book right now, right, about Spain. Like, long story short, about Spain, and they referenced the groups you just mentioned, right? I think they called them because they were talking about the Moors, but they were also talking about. I think they called them Banish. I'm not sure if that rings a bell, but
Mm-hmm.
but you know, I always knew that Moor shit was bullshit, but it's obvious that those were Sandman. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah, the
fact that the
Moors were Europeans and Sandmen, and the few sons that were Moors were either slave trade. They were slave traders. They
yeah
captured Africans and selling them to the Moors, or they
yeah
were soldiers, or they were castrated servants. Man,
the ba- the
it,
them
yeah, this notion that the Moors were some black
black
group
and they
is
dominated it and they ruled it. Yeah,
absolutely,
it's
I don't.
impossible. Impossible.
utterly
I don't think
preposterous.
the Moors weren't from like the Horn of Africa though. Like where
No, they're
those
from North
East Af.
Africa.
No.
Yeah,
They
those were North African
They're from North
people.
Africa.
Morocco.
But
no.
but
The
yeah, like
horns are
that kind of
like
guys, like
Libya,
Morocco.
Algeria, Morocco,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah, the Moors are
But
not those people, but they're
but
not sub-Saharans though.
but I've been reading about it, right? And you know, the Moors didn't conquer Spain as we know it. They conquered the Iberian Peninsula, right? Parts of it, the majority of it. But when I was reading what they've done, and I'm going to read another book. It got my attention, but
Damn.
So,
Hey, I think that
Wait, what?
the
What just happened?
Ethiopians
those were
lost
Sandmen.
them.
Reading what they did, they were fucking Sandmen.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
I heard
Man, I was about to say something.
Yeah, let's move along though, man.
Here's to
Hey,
the
real
stolen
quick.
valor, accusations against Governor Walz. I think people
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
Real quick.
Go ahead, man.
I I think that the Ethiopians, especially once they got Christianized, they like considered that they identified as gliders.
Yeah, but they not.
Wait, do they really?
Right, but they like considered
No
themselves.
way. Do they really?
Yeah. It's just how Hispanics consider themselves white, but like they're like 5'2" and shit.
Legislation to turn Minnesota into a trans refuge state. Children can come here and change their sex without parental permission.
I want to shift gears to the stolen valor accusations against Governor Walz. I think people are just now starting to become more aware of this story. You've been covering it for a while now.
So I did this story originally. He was running for governor. It was very easy, I'll be honest, to substantiate these claims. These were 3 command sergeant majors in total that came forward to say that he left his unit high and dry before their deployment to Iraq, but more than anything, that he'd been using this rank, this command sergeant major rank, when he did not attain that rank, and he used it for decades. This isn't like a slip of the tongue here and there. I think this is part of his
Stolen
track record.
valor.
Again, I've interviewed dozens of people at this point in my 20 years in Minnesota with connections to Governor Walz. He manipulates things. If you even look back at a lot of people I've interviewed, they use words like masterful liar. And, you know, his support for, or lack of support, I should say, for law enforcement is well documented. And a widow came out and said, I don't want you at my husband's funeral. These 2 police officers and fire medic die in this horrible shooting in Burnsville, happened in February. And he wanted to come make a statement like hours after it happened. And the city of Burnsville said, no, we don't want you there. We've never seen that sort of level of pushback against a governor, at least in my time covering politicians here.
Oh man. Wow.
Oh, you know, that sex scene shit is so crazy, Ag. That's gotta be the Juice Crew. Jokes aside, man, it's gotta be, because that makes no sense letting that occur, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. Let's just see this last clip about Tim Walz, then we're gonna get to the fuckery, man.
This issue is what's on everyone's mind. Donald Trump put this all into motion. He brags about how great it was that he put the judges in and overturned Roe versus Wade, 52 years of personal autonomy. And then he tells us, oh, we send it to the states. It's a beautiful thing. Amanda Zaworski would disagree with you on it's a beautiful thing. A young bride in Texas waiting for their child at 18 weeks. She has a complication, a tear in the membrane. She needs to go in. The medical care at that point needs to be decided by the doctor. And that would have been an abortion. But in Texas, that would have put them in legal jeopardy. She went home, got sepsis, nearly dies, and now she may have difficulty having children. Or in Kentucky, Hadley Duvall, a 12-year-old child raped and impregnated by her stepfather. Those are horrific. Now, when God asked about that, Senator Vance said 2 wrongs don't make a right. There is no right in this. So in Minnesota, what we did was restore Roe versus Wade. We made sure that we put women in charge of their health care. But look, this is not where, if you don't know Amanda or a Hadley, you soon will. Their Project 2025 is going to have a registry of pregnancies. It's going to make it more difficult, if not impossible, to get contraception and limit access, if not eliminate access to infertility treatments. For so many of you out there listening, me included, infertility treatments are why I have a child. That's nobody else's business, but those things are being proposed. And the catch-all on this is, well, the states will decide what's right for Texas might not be right for Washington. That's not how this works. This is basic human right. We have seen maternal mortality skyrocket in Texas, outpacing many other countries in the world. This is about healthcare. In Minnesota, we are ranked first in healthcare for a reason. We trust women, we trust doctors.
Senator.
He just sounds like he's lying.
Yeah, he was ducking a lot of answers for sure.
He feels like a liar to me. And I'm not, and I already thought that, but I'm just saying, like, the way he talks, and he's a clown, man. He's fucking clown.
He's a fucking liar for sure. Even it's like incredible lies though, like unnecessary bullshit lies, like.
But
like
they
the
do
shit.
say, Wicked, if you're in the 48 Laws of Power, it says if you're gonna tell a lie,
go big.
tell a big lie. Yeah. If you're going to tell her, don't lie. It's not good to lie, but if you are, tell a big one.
It had happened while she was on the job in uniform. The Cook County Medical Examiner's office tonight identifying her as 48-year-old Octavia.
These guys go too far, man. This guy got a fucking list, man. Sometimes, listen, man, and listen, I'm not here to make fun of this guy. I'm here to champion this guy. He's overcome. Imagine what he's overcome, right? You know what I'm saying? Probably speech therapy and all this stuff.
Right.
He got a hairpiece on and everything. But what I'm saying is that, like, yeah, okay, put him in like Oswego, Wisconsin or something. He shouldn't be in Chicago, man.
Right.
With all these fucking eyes on him, man.
It had happened while she was on the job in uniform. The Cook County Medical Examiner's office tonight identifying her as 48-year-old Octavia Redmond. Neighbors say they saw the car pull up toward her truck before hearing the gunfire. This U.S. Postal Service truck sits idle, surrounded by a maze of crime scene tape after gunfire erupted on this West Pullman block.
On this block, because there's a lot of older people live over here, and all of us know each other.
Leaving 48-year-old postal worker Octavia Redmond shot multiple times while on the job. It happened outside of a home just after 11:30 this morning near 121st and Harvard.
We all knew her around here. Yes, she was like a mother to the neighborhood.
A now heartbroken neighborhood swarmed with Chicago police officers and postal.
Hit the like button, subscribe, support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat.
Inspectors investigating the shooting. Neighbors who did not want to appear on camera telling ABC7 they saw a car driving toward the victim's USPS truck before hearing at least 10 shots. The shooter then getting away.
White Durango fled westbound from this location on Harvard towards Ashland.
The victim was taken to Christ Hospital where she died, leaving the residents on her route reeling from this brazen attack that unfolded in broad daylight.
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady. I'm looking for my morning smile or my afternoon smile. Like now, I got it to adjust to somebody else.
Tonight, there is no word with postal inspectors.
It's so selfish, aren't they?
Right. It's just such
It's
a weird thing
weird.
to say, you know?
It's so weird. I mean, I get a lot of this because I watch, you know, I got the WNBA shit I be covering on the other channel here, and black women say cringy things.
Yeah.
But this is just like, yo, what the fuck?
It's just
My heart is shattered because it was a nice lady. I'm looking for my morning smile or my afternoon smile. Like now, I got it to adjust to somebody else.
Tonight, there is no word on a motive. U.S. postal inspectors now offering a reward up to $250,000 for any information leading to an arrest.
That's crazy. Wow. Think about how dangerous though, like being a postal worker in the stand. And where she was killed, that's the Roseland, the 100s, the stand. Dangerous.
We begin with breaking news. New leads in the search for the person who shot and killed a Chicago postal worker. Our Sarah Maki is live at police headquarters for us right now. Sarah, what do we know?
Well, Tara, they were looking for that Durango in relation to the postal workers' killing, but it's unclear just how much evidence they'll be able to recover from it. Take a look at some of the video that we have from that scene, and you will see why for yourself. Police found this Durango in the 8900 block of South Holland Avenue. CPD saying it's been torched. They were on scene with U.S. Postal Police as well, investigating the case involving 48-year-old Octavia Redmond's death. Tributes for Redmond have been pouring in on social media with a renewed push to protect postal workers like her. Redmond had been shot multiple times while delivering mail Friday morning in the West Pullman neighborhood. Police say an unknown man walked up to her and started shooting. That shooter then got away. Redmond later died at the hospital. And it is just the latest in a string of violent attacks. Just last week, an armed robbery involving a letter carrier was captured on video. And then there were back-to-back robberies of USPS trucks earlier this month. Leaders for the letter carriers union in Chicago tell us that these attacks are preventable.
And because we've been asking for help, we've been asking for safety measures,
Oh,
but it
that-
should not take it to come to this point for us to get what we need while we out here delivering our mail.
There are various rewards out for these multiple attacks. The one in Redmond's case, $250,000 for anybody who has information that leads to an arrest.
Oh, what that sister said though, Dean, right? I don't think she understands what she's saying. Well, I mean, I wonder if she understands what she's saying because can she connect the dot that the reason it's so dangerous for them around there is because of the sun waves?
No, she didn't. She never. No, she never did that. Let me say this though. This right here was unsolved. This was unsolved for a while. Nobody knew what happened to this woman, man. And we have an
update.
An update. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. So let's get to the update, man.
Our top local story this afternoon: a 15-year-old boy is charged with shooting and killing a mail carrier.
Prosecutors say the teen later returned to the crime scene. WGN's Angelica Sanchez is live outside the juvenile courthouse with these disturbing details. Angelica?
That's why our prosecutors say that the teen's cell phone shows that he was following the victim's delivery route prior to the shooting. This comes as unionized postal workers across the country are demanding more be done for the safety of employees. A 15-year-old boy stands in front of a judge, now charged with first-degree murder. He's accused of fatally shooting 48-year-old USPS letter carrier Octavia Redmond back in July. Prosecutors say the boy was dressed in all black the day of the shooting and that he went to the home of a witness to change his shoes. His cell phone shows he was texting someone Redmond's delivery route and location before getting out of a stolen white Durango to shoot her multiple times. The shooting was captured on home surveillance.
Right now, we're calling on action for safety, more safety, protection for letter carriers while we're out here. We should not have to face the difficult task of ever wondering, if I come to work, will I return home to my family?
This arrest comes as American Postal Worker Union members across the country are calling attention to working conditions. At a rally in Roseland, where Redmond served as an employee, they spoke on the need for increased safety measures, including the need for postal police officers to follow employees while they are out making deliveries.
It is sad that we are facing attacks. Since 2020, there's been over 2,000 attacks on postal employees. Over 150 since 2022
That's insane.
in the Chicago district alone,
Right.
resulting in
Yo,
the death of
that would be insane if it was the entire country. I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you told me in the entire country there were 2,000 attacks against postal workers since this, I would be like, damn.
It's such an
They're
integral
talking
part
about
of our society.
Chicago, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like, it is the logistics of
Employees
our
while
world
they are out
for
making
most people.
deliveries.
It is sad that we are facing attacks. Since 2020, there's been over 2,000 attacks on postal employees. Over 150 since 2022 in the Chicago district alone, resulting in the death.
Oh, he said
The whole country?
Okay, that was whole country. Okay, that's still a lot. 150 in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
How many do you think were done by Sunman?
I would say, let me see. If I had to say out of 2,000,
Well, 150. Let's just go with Chicago.
Oh, the
alone, right?
150, I would say probably 145.
I would say I 145 Sunmen, and the other 5. You know what? 10 of them sisters, and the rest Sunmen.
It's probably the same gun memorial.
Yeah, it's us doing it, man. Everyone knows that. There's no one is debating that.
But
could be worse though.
But yeah, it could be. But the annoying, crazy part, like, is we have to act like that's not the case, and then when we finally come to terms that it's the case, we come up with bullshit non-solutions. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
that
there
shit just.
is no solution.
Well, we could light their ass up. That's something we can't do. Light their ass up.
Yeah.
I think literally
Death
just saying it
Octavia
out loud
Redmond.
would help too.
But look, this is the
PSA.
thing, KB. Some people amongst themselves know that these motherfuckers ain't shit. They know it. I walked into a room with it was 3 sisters talking, right? And I'm cool with them. And when they saw me come in, they got dead quiet. But I caught a bit of what they were saying. They were pretty much saying what they always say. These niggas ain't shit. That's what they were saying, Ike.
Yeah, I got you, man. You're definitely right, man.
Employees. Over 150 since 2022 in the Chicago district alone, resulting in the death of Octavia Redmond, Sister Redmond, and about 4 other people across the country.
Meantime, the judge overseeing the teen's case says he was out on juvenile release at the time of the crime for an attempted burglary in February. A warrant had been issued for him in May because he could not be located. The teen was arrested by U.S. Marshals in Cedar, Iowa on that outstanding warrant. We learned the gun used in the shooting has already been connected to a separate battery case. The teen's father was present via Zoom, telling the judge, quote, "He just doesn't stay put." When the teen started crying in court, the judge asked why, but the teen didn't answer. Now, the teen is being held in custody. The victim's family was here present in court, but declined to comment. The teen will be back in court in November for a status hearing. Reporting live outside the juvenile courthouse, Angelica Sanchez, WGN News.
All right, thank you, Angelica.
Look, that sister didn't need to
Chicago
die.
postal worker.
She didn't need to die. She was at work, right? That goofy, if he was behind bars where he was supposed to be, he wouldn't have been killed, at least not by him.
Say they do not feel safe on the street, and tonight there has been another attack.
Nate Rogers spoke with a witness who saw that brutal beating on the South Side.
By all accounts, this was indeed a very vicious assault, with the attacker allegedly telling this postal worker again and again that he was going to kill her. Now, multiple sources tell us the postal carrier was leaving this Chase Bank where she had just withdrawn some money that she gave to him before she was severely beaten right here in this parking lot.
He beat her, knocked her wig off, head hits the ground.
In broad daylight, a neighborhood mail carrier violently attacked. Tom Jacks was standing 10 feet away and dialed 911.
Nate, you had to see it because when he hit her, she flew back and hit her head on the ground.
It happened at the Kimbark Plaza, 53rd and Woodlawn, just before 12 noon. Police say the 55-year-old woman.
This is the day.
Woman was working in the area when a 53-year-old man beat her.
I see him and he's got his arm around her neck like a chokehold. And she kept trying to push him off of her. And he was like, grabbing her.
Witnesses say at least 6 men held the attacker down until officers arrived. Police saying the incident was domestic in nature. Multiple witnesses telling Fox 32 the mail lady identified the man as her ex-husband, who she'd separated from back in April. On the heels of other recent attacks against postal workers, Jack says these federal employees need security.
I don't care if it's domestic or what. They need much better security because if people hadn't intervened, she'd be dead.
And police tell us the postal carrier refused to go to the hospital. Witnesses say that's because she was in fear of losing her job. She told witnesses that we spoke to she did not want to leave her mail truck here in the parking lot. Chicago police say a suspect is in custody. In Hyde Park, Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
I wonder why she want to leave that truck there.
From New York Times,
Well, I mean,
Well, it's in Woodlawn. They would have definitely got broken into. Definitely.
Man.
I mean, if it was like Porter's Park, then she probably would have been like, yeah, it's all good. Leave it there. Or if it was like Jefferson Park, she would have been like, man, we Gucci.
Man.
Not Woodlawn, though. I don't know.
So that mystery has been solved. Wow.
Yeah, I
For joining us at 10, I'm Keith Garvin. Daniela is off tonight. New at 10 tonight, after several last-minute appeals tonight, the state of Texas carried out the execution of 61-year-old Garcia Glenn White. The former Wheatley High School football star was found guilty of murdering twin 16-year-old girls and their mother in Houston back in 1989. Annette and Burnett Edwards were the twins. The case remained cold for 6 years until White was brought in for questioning in a different murder, admitting to 5 in all. Here's KPRC2.
Yo,
Yikes.
I see the Innocence Project ain't fucking with him. They said, nah, we can't. This is too much.
Nah, they're probably gonna fuck with him regardless. Yo, but you know what, his name is Garcia. Off of the strength, we'll take this one.
Yeah, this is Hispanic, man. This is insane, though. I will say that, man. Like,
yeah, a lot going on.
If you just look at the facts of the Marcellus Williams case from last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever, and you see how far they were able to push that, where 90% of the people, well, 95% of the people I hear online think that believe all the Innocence Project's version of events, right?
Right.
This guy, this is what it takes. I wonder if there's going to be. I wonder if they could have taken this guy and shifted the narrative on him, because it's just amazing what they can do with the assist from the mainstream media. It's just amazing, man. I wouldn't put nothing past them.
Right.
And for questioning in a different murder, admitting to 5 in all. Here's KPRC2 investigator Robert Arnold, who witnessed White's execution tonight in Huntsville.
The state of Texas carried out the execution of Garcia Glenn White at 6:56 p.m. He did give a final statement. He accepted responsibility for what he had done, and he apologized to the families of his victims. He then sang the hymn, I Trust in God.
I really come here to support the victims, and their families are never made whole by the executions, but at least the legal process finally comes to a conclusion.
Family members for Greta Williams and High Fam declined to make a public statement after witnessing the execution of Garcia Glenn White. Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg spoke on their behalf.
The suffering that the surviving family members have gone through is just unspeakable. They've waded through appeal after appeal after appeal.
White was linked to 5 murders. The first was Greta Williams in 1989. In December of the same year, Bonita Edwards and her twin 16-year-old daughters, Annette and Burnett, were murdered.
It is brutal, stabbing deaths, beating deaths, things that cause these victims a great deal of pain in their last moments of life.
The murders went unsolved until 1995, when High Fam was beaten to death during a robbery of his convenience store. White was arrested and started confessing. He was convicted and sentenced to die for the sisters' murders. During his final statement, White told the families, I apologize and I am sorry for all the pain I have caused. White tried to appeal his death sentence, claiming rampant cocaine use fueled a violent psychosis.
Garcia White was educated. He knew what he was doing.
One piece of information that we learned tonight from Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg: White was actually considered the prime suspect in the murder of Greta Williams when she was killed in 1989. But at the time, there wasn't enough evidence to connect him to the murder, and as a result, he was no-billed by a grand jury. Reporting from Huntsville, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Hey, but you know what, on second thought, bro? On second thought, he does have White in his name, so the glad you take that one.
Yeah, man.
That's on the
hold it down for me for a second. I gotta go get my wife some ice cream, man.
All right.
Refrigerator. Hold it down. Thank you.
You got a third one on the way, or what? Yo, KB. So, do you get what I'm saying though in the back chat though? Like I don't. Is it happening here though? Because in Africa we know it's happening.
Well,
but
I
it's
just said it was,
here.
He just
Do you
never
know about
actually
that?
called it he called it female genital mutilation.
Yeah. But do you know of it happening here in the United States?
I don't. I haven't heard of
I
that.
never heard of that. Yeah, I'm so if that is the case, I'd be surprised, man.
It's
You know?
very extreme.
I don't put it past them. Don't get me wrong, but I would still be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, you could keep it a secret, so they could just do it. No one would have any fucking idea.
Yeah, that's true, but can you really though? I mean,
Yeah, they would
if it
totally do that themselves.
if it's widespread enough, you can't really keep that shit on the wraps, right?
Well, if they're Muslims, you know, the women aren't gonna have a lot of
That's
sex, I
true.
guess.
That's true. I know the fan communities around here, they're very to themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know how the Sun
Hey, Wiki,
Muslims are.
you care about the WNBA?
Yeah, what about it?
Oh, you're in Chicago, huh? What do you think of the Sky?
I mean, I think it's the WNBA and nobody gives a fuck unless
You like
Caitlyn or
pay
Angel
attention?
Reese. Huh?
You pay attention?
I just paid attention like a little bit at the Caitlyn Clark, Angel Reese shit, you know?
Yeah, me
YBS.
too.
Other than
I
that,
was
I mean,
just
who
curious,
cares?
and I hope the WNBA like burns to the ground.
Well, I mean, it's looking like the opposite, dude. It's looking like it's becoming more popular, right?
I mean, that's what should happen, but the management is, I guess they kind of one foot in, one foot out. Like, I guess there's probably a small minority that wants to embrace the hype, you could say,
The
the
Caitlyn
hope.
Clark races,
And
the
then the
Great White Hope.
majority, I think, is like, no, fuck that. We just want to be a political tool, and
Yeah,
money doesn't matter.
that's
And let's
crazy, dude.
violently attack people on the court,
I did
just like in the
hear,
streets.
yeah. I did hear the one Russian gulag bitch. I forget her name right now. From Phoenix. The tall Brittany Griner. I did hear
Ugh.
uh I did hear what she said about the new fans. That that's
You
the
got
racists and the
you
ones
got
that
to
are
call
not.
BG Pops. That's his name is Pops.
Who's that?
In the interview, Brittany Griner corrected
Oh,
the interviewer about calling her
mm.
mom. She said, "No, call me Pops."
Oh, she said that?
Yeah,
What a delusion, dude. How delusional, dude. The fact that we're allowing that
terrifying.
as a society, it's just so unfortunate, dude. You know?
Yeah,
Like
and the irony on top of it is just how awful Pops is at basketball,
is she?
considering the size of the hands and the height. It's
I thought she
pathetic.
was one of the better players. Is she not?
I mean, I haven't seen anything special out of her recently. I think she's old now. I don't know how old she
Mm,
is, but
yeah.
I think taking all those hormones and shit, that's gotta fuck you up. Like, that's
Yeah, I
gonna
would
do something to
imagine
you.
so. So have you been following the WNBA before, Caitlin, or are you one of the new racist fans that she was talking
Oh,
about?
I'm definitely a new fan. I wouldn't deny
You
that
could
label.
because of Caitlin, right?
But I knew players, like, because I've been to basketball. So, like, if a player was
Yeah,
good, I would have heard their name. That's about it.
yeah,
Actually, I
man.
practiced with the Storm for probably a month back in like
The Seattle Storm.
2017. Yeah, because they bring in men. And so I went in
Yeah,
there and I practiced against them.
you busted the
It's,
ass or what? No mercy.
I definitely did, but it's funny because the coach, gives you no help. Like they just let the girls do whatever the fuck they want to. I'm like, I'm out of
Mm,
here. This is bullshit.
yeah,
So
yeah,
looking back, it's like, oh, this all makes sense.
yeah. I have a hard time, to be honest, like really watching sports nowadays because of what you said earlier about, at first I didn't care about the political bullshit. I didn't really pay it any mind. But then at some point there was like, okay, this is getting old now, you know? I think for me one of the things that kind of like did it for me was I don't know if you remember the story, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? They put the helmet of this clown. And do you remember that story? The Steelers,
No, I don't think so.
so a bunch
But
of NFL teams were putting names of Sunmen killed by the police in their helmets, right? So and I like this. I like the Bears, right? Obviously, but I'm also a Steelers fan, right? So the Steelers put the name of this one Sun team who was killed by the police, right? On their helmet. Now, mind you, KB, this somewhere he
you was shooting at them?
no, well, no, not at them. He actually shot at other Sunmen, right? he was a passenger. Return fire. The police get out, try to stop the car. The passenger, which was the gunman, he runs from the car. And the cop chases him. The cop ends up shooting him. Right now, this Sun-Tin, he ended up only having in his hand the magazine. Right, the pistol was in the car still. He left the pistol, but he ran with the magazine. Right, so the Steelers, his name on their helmet. Right, think about it. This mother and then the mother 5 million. My shot. He just did a drive.
Yeah. The more you think about
New
that,
at
the
10, we
more
are learning.
insane it seems. Fuck.
What'd you say?
Okay, man. We've had 4 people take the $5 challenge tonight, man.
Yeah.
Certainly
for the
we can
channel.
get more than 4 people to take the $5 challenge, man.
So when I'll pass. That kind of did it for me. You know what I mean? But each his own.
When the football players put that on their helmet, they tacitly imply that that's totally a cool thing to do. Just run around with guns and shit.
Well, you know what's more cool than that? Shooting at some motherfuckers you can't stand on the curb. You just open fire on them. That's pretty cool too.
Doesn't the NFL have the National Felon League? Isn't that one of their nicknames?
Is it? Are you for real?
I don't know. I'm not a football fan, but I've heard that before. And I stopped watching basketball in 2020. I had enough of that shit.
New at 10, we are learning new details of the murder of Jocelyn Nungare. New court documents reveal her suspected killers may be connected to a dangerous Venezuelan gang known as Tren de Aragua. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry joins us now live from the newsroom with the latest in this case that has sparked national attention. Bryce.
Aragua is a gang that state leaders are.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again.
This case that has sparked national attention. Bryce.
Aragua is a gang that state leaders are trying to stop from gaining any standing in Texas. Law enforcement tells me there are TDA members in the Houston area. And tonight, this new search warrant reveals investigators found several clues on social media that led them to believe the men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence. More than 3 months have passed since the discovery of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare's strangled body sticking out of this bayou under a bridge in North Houston. Her accused killers, now indicted for capital murder, arrested just weeks after federal immigration officials say Franklin Pena and Johan Martinez Rangel entered the U.S. illegally from Venezuela. New court.
Wow, that's crazy. You enter another country, just kill some people, man.
Documents now show both men may be connected to Tren de Aragua, a gang that started in a Venezuelan prison, now a transnational criminal organization that officials say is connected to violent crimes like murder or rape, sex, and drug trafficking.
It makes it seem more real that these people are monsters and that these are evil people who do heinous things, who don't have a heart, who have no compassion for anybody.
Jocelyn's mother, Alexis, shocked to learn of the development after months of being outspoken about immigration policy, fighting for justice in her daughter's name.
I needed to turn my pain into power and just make a difference.
Investigators found the possible gang connection because of clues left on the accused killer's public TikTok accounts, starting with these emojis in the bio. One of Martinez Rangel's accounts shows a ninja, cross sword, and building emoji, which investigators say TDA members use to identify themselves with each other. There's also this message, written in Spanish, which investigators describe as a call to members inside and outside of the country. This video, posted in early May, shows Pena traveling in what appears to be a migrant train about 3 weeks before his apprehension by U.S. Border Patrol. And this video shows Pena with 2 star tattoos on his shoulders, along with a rose tattoo on his hand. All those clues led law enforcement to issue search warrants to TikTok, hoping to get more evidence related to Jocelyn's death, communications they had with other gang members, or possible.
So they can do all this shit, but they can't just round these motherfuckers up and kick them out or keep them from coming in. They can do all this all this investigative bullshit.
Right. for nothing.
A migrant train about 3 weeks before his apprehension by U.S. Border Patrol. And this video shows Pena with 2 star tattoos on his shoulders, along with a rose tattoo on his hand. All those clues led law enforcement to issue search warrants to TikTok, hoping to get more evidence related to Jocelyn's death, communications they had with other gang members, or possible gang affiliation or activity, or any other potential criminal acts.
TDA, gangsters are like cockroaches. They multiply quickly. Small intrusions into communities become infestations if not aggressively pursued.
Texas DPS Director Steve McCraw's agency is now working to disrupt and deter TDA's activity in the state, with active criminal investigations involving suspected members.
I will use my last breath.
Alexis Nungare not giving up.
We really have no business burying our kids. They're supposed to bury us.
Now with renewed hope for justice for Jocelyn.
Proves our point. This proves that these are very horrible people, and it wasn't an accident that just went too far of a night of partying that went out of hand.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced a $5,000 reward for information that leads to the identification or arrest of suspected TDA members involved in criminal activity here in the state. Tonight, Ramos and Martinez Rangel are each.
So what happens when the Mexican mafia in Trinidad like come at odds inside the prison, like inside the penitentiary?
I mean, I would think that the Venezuelans will be fucked, right? Because there's so many Mexicans in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, they're still gonna do they get absorbed, or do they play tribute, or like what do you mean? Like what happens?
I mean, I would
assimilate.
I would imagine in prison, like go down there in the South, it sounds like they wouldn't allow them to assimilate, right? Like they're pretty tribal.
Smart.
Right? Yo, but did you hear how that Umbrita was talking about these dudes? I like what she was saying, and I like that they allowed her to say that and put it on there. But why can't they say that shit about these clowns running around here? The brothers. All the shit she said about them was crazy, bro.
We protected, man. We a protected class, man.
But did you notice that though, or is it just
yeah, no doubt. I mean, she used very descriptive, and she was concise, and she was clear.
Right.
And she used pointed language to talk about them, but she's also an hombrito too, though.
But you
not like it was a white lady doing that, though. It was an hombrito lady doing
But you don't even hear us saying that about the brothers when they fucking victimize our corn man or our paleteros. You don't really hear that. So the fact that they allowed her to say that,
all
right, I'm telling you right now,
tonight.
They would say that. They would say, but they would not put that on the fucking news.
Yeah. Now I know. Of course, we know hombritos will talk about blacks behind their backs or in their personal lives. Yeah, of course we know that. But yeah, they know better than to say it on the news.
Tonight, one family's message: justice is served. A jury convicting a man of murder all over romance, and a warning: some of the details of the story may be disturbing to hear.
Cheyenne Corinne is live for us at Philadelphia Police Headquarters. Cheyenne, we heard from the family of the 20-year-old.
We heading into 2:00, man. If you guys want to sponsor the show, man, for the third hour, man. I mean, we made $20 tonight, man, off about 1,000 people that came through here, man. We need some people to sponsor the show, man, going forward, man. Salute to Karen Vukalic, the lovely Karen Vukalic, man. She coming through, the lovely Karen. That's really her picture. Did you know that? Did you guys know that this is literally her? It's not like a photo of off the internet.
Are you serious? Nice.
Yeah, that's her.
That's
Karen, yeah, salute to Karen, man.
Victim tonight. What are they saying?
We did, Sheba, and it was very emotional. But they do have some closure now that the man who shot and then burned the body of Nasir Johnson will spend the rest of his life in prison. The family also wanted to make clear that Nasir was murdered not only because he was gay, but also because his killer, who he was in a relationship with, could not accept his own sexual identity.
Sometimes I just force myself to go to sleep. My heart is so torn in so many pieces.
Since Nasir Johnson was killed in February of 2022, his family.
Yeah, you can tell he gay. Like it ain't no like dude, the dude who was in a relationship with this dude, like homie, if you like were seen with this guy on multiple occasions, yo, they already knew he wasn't hiding. You ain't had to.
He looked. You could tell. You just there's one glance at this dude, and you could tell he's infatuated with pooping on meat. He looked like a bottom. He looked like a bottom too. He looked like a bottom.
He definitely on the bottom, man. Yo, he's yeah, you killed dude for no reason. He probably thought like, man, they're gonna find out. Nah, dude, if we seen you with him, we know you gay. Period.
Family has been pleading and praying for justice.
I couldn't even see him. They wouldn't laid him to rest. I couldn't even see him.
The 20-year-old's body was found along this remote trail in Fairmount Park near Kelly Drive.
This body was the worst burned body I have ever seen.
Prosecutors say 23-year-old Kylan.
You look kind of sweet too, man. It's in the eyes. You look sweet in the eyes.
I mean, it's the only, like in Philly, like niggas ain't just gonna kill you because you gay. So my thought process on this is he probably was trying to creep with Bull, and then I don't know. I guess he didn't want to get found out. That's the best I could come up with. Maybe he's trying to like expose him or some shit.
Yeah, or here's the thing too, like you could when you doing dirt, like you already, not saying that being gay is doing dirt, but when if you a street nigga like him, it is doing dirt, and you think motherfuckers might find out. You know what I'm saying?
He basically was trying to what they call it, cross the T's and dot the I's, like trying to eliminate any possibility of niggas finding out he getting his meat pooped on. Yeah, he's trying to cover the tracks of him getting his meat pooped on by the other gentleman.
He's gonna love it in the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely gonna love it.
And the other guy who's dead, man, he could have been trying to out him. I mean, that's a possibility, but I'm just saying it wouldn't take all of that. That other guy could have been an angel. He could have been like, you know what, you go your way, I'll go mine. We'll never speak of this again. But just that guy out there.
Yeah.
Knowing he out there, like even if he ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
He just living, like what's his name? Flea said that you know, he's heard stories where dudes be having relationships in prison, and you know, for years, and then one will get out, right, and you know, meet a woman, have a family, and start, you know, just have a regular life and be living on the streets like, you know, nothing ever happened, and then the other dude will get out years later, right? And he'll move to the same city where that guy is.
Yeah, because they basically they pair bonded. Like they really fell in love in there. He probably really thought that it was gonna be on some real. He probably really thought it was real. It probably was real love in there. Like they probably really did like really fall in love with each other, but niggas probably switched up.
Now homie got a family. Homie got some kids, and he got a wife, and they got the car, and they got the driveway, and homie trying to put that behind him. He out here calling niggas gay and shit for little shit. He the one out there like If he catch you bopping your head to a Taylor Swift song, nigga, you faggot ass nigga, fag.
Yeah.
I know, you know what I'm saying? He on some, he done moved on, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and here you come, he done moved to another city. He ain't even in the city where he from. He done moved to another city, and here your ass come from his past. He said dudes literally do that all the time in prison. They come out and they move to where their lover was, and then they be popping up and shit. He said it ends in murder a lot because, of course, them niggas is, you know, hard killers and shit.
Yes, like you said, man, he might have not, because he doesn't look like. I mean, it's just, of course, they're gonna put some innocent looking pictures, but he doesn't seem like that type of guy that's be scorned over, you know, his ex. But just the fact that he's out there and he's able to talk to other people, and then in the city, man, rumors get around.
Yo, think about this. Just think about this. How often, and I've done this before too. How often you've been with your homeboy, right? And you see a Joan, and you be like, "Oh, I used to tap that joint." You know what I'm saying? Just in passing. I'm not even talking about like
it's a reflex.
Just like, oh yeah, I used to. Yeah, they gonna show that I used to.
You don't even think about it. It's like, oh shit, they go to Lil Jon. Bro, tell me how you mean. That's the Lil Jon that came through that day, bro.
Yeah. You think gay dudes don't do that?
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm not.
You could never trust homie. You gotta get rid of homie. You gotta get him out of the face.
You gotta X that nigga out, man.
You gotta get him up out of there, man. Salute the guy ninja, man.
Lynn Pratt shot Johnson in the neck at his West Philly home, wrapped his body in cloth, drove it to the park, and set him on fire. Bratt was found guilty of first-degree murder with a mandatory life sentence. Investigators also found disturbing searches on his cell phone, and he was found guilty of other charges, such as abuse of a corpse.
Makes no mistake about it, this was a hate crime.
Pratt was identified as a suspect after detectives received an anonymous tip that also led them to finding out the two men were in a romantic relationship.
We must recognize that this violence isn't random. It is a reflection of deeply rooted, internalized homophobia, queerphobia, and transphobia that impacts all of our communities.
This is an individual who was killed because he was gay. And because the man who killed him did not want anyone to find out that he was in a relationship with him or that he had sex with other men.
Johnson's family described the Chad High School graduate who was about.
Man, can't you smile regular, nigga? Like, why you always gay smiling?
Yeah, he's smiling like that's a campaigning. He want all the niggas to know how white his teeth is, how wide his mouth is.
Damn, man.
About to begin college as a person who everyone loved. They say his death is a result of families not accepting their children for who they are and urges others to unconditionally love how they did.
Okay, he look all right in these joints. He ain't smiling though. He look normal in these joints. He could pass. He got Diddy on his shirt though, so that's a red flag.
I see her.
He didn't deserve that. And for you to burn his body so we couldn't see him is no amount of forgiveness.
And now the convicted killer will also have to work in prison to pay Nasir's family nearly $18,000 in restitution. I'm live at police headquarters. I'm Cheyenne Coran, Fox.
What? $18,000 in restitution? What the fuck?
Is that the reparations?
And now to a developing story in Camden.
Yeah, man, they getting reparations, man.
And now to a developing story in Camden County where police say a hit and run that killed a mother of three was no accident at all. Our Steve Keeley explains.
As a parent, it's just hard to hear it.
Carla Mann's father says it's difficult to hear.
that the woman arrested for his daughter's murder is charged with intentionally running over Carla. In the words of prosecutors, deliberately, purposely, and knowingly, here on this grassy lot in Camden, just off Morgan Boulevard near 676. After the driver, now charged, 30-year-old Ajee Williams of Camden, according to the affidavit of probable cause, drove up over the curb onto the grassy lot after she and Carla had a brief conversation through the passenger side window, moments after Carla got off a New Jersey Transit bus coming home from work last Wednesday at 3:21 in the afternoon. When police later found and examined that Dodge Durango, court documents say human flesh and hair were found underneath the vehicle. And even worse, Williams likely had her 2 children in the car, who prosecutors say were seen on video being picked up by her in the Dodge Durango at school in Camden just a few minutes before.
Sisters, man. Hey, man.
Durango at school in Camden just a few minutes before.
It's hot. Why and how can you be a monster in front of your own kids to do that? That's what I wonder. Why? How? And your kids seeing this? That's going to dramatize them, even though it's dramatized.
So, he said dramatized. So salute to God Ninja. Salute to my man Raymond, man. Shout out to you, man. Salute to Main TV, Op Nation Hall of Famer, Main TV in the building. Shout out to Darren Williams. He said migrants versus BLM. Who y'all got? I got migrants, man. Salute to Pamela Henderson. Say salute. Shout out.
Causing us. If she get the chance to know her, whether she know her or not, even though she had that rage, she will. If she could, I know, if she could take that date back, I know she would. She would never do that, because if she would have got to know her, maybe they could have handled in a better situation instead of running somebody over like they're a dog.
Carla's family tells Fox 29 News they plan to meet with prosecutors tomorrow, then be in court Thursday morning for defendant Ajee Williams' first court appearance on her first-degree murder charge.
To see if she brought to justice. That's where I'm going for my daughter. I wouldn't miss this for all the money in the world.
In Camden, Steve Keeley, Fox 29 News.
And in New Jersey, workers at a Gloucester County Chick-fil-A being praised for their quick thinking that may have kept the little girl out of danger. Steve Keeley is in Turnersville. And Steve, it all started with a trip to the drive-thru.
Well, it actually all started long before the dad, the daughter, and the drinking got here to the drive-thru, because the dad was sufficiently drunk, according to police, when he pulled up to the drive-thru. He had been drinking long before somewhere else and drinking while driving. And we obtained the police body-worn camera video of what happened after the staff here immediately sensed potential danger to the daughter, the dad, and every other driver on the road around here. Staff here at the Turnersville Chick-fil-A was more like save a life Saturday night. Washington Township's police chief says when a father pulled in with his 6-year-old daughter in his pickup truck and a whole lot more.
They smelled alcohol in his breath, and they were able to see open alcohol inside the car when they took his in.
There's empties in that tent, so
There was open alcohol in the car, beer, and also a 30-pack and a trash bag full of empties.
Police say the staff did some quick thinking and took some quick action.
She notified her manager. The manager notified the police department.
How did they delay him from leaving?
They told him that he had to pull over and wait for his order. So that's how they delayed him, had him pull over. Officers, he was still waiting for his order when officers pulled up. Within 5 minutes, our officer was on location. 2 officers arrived, walked up towards the Chick-fil-A and met the manager in the parking lot. And the manager pointed out the pickup truck. Officers approached him, advised him that there was a call there, that he may be intoxicated, and they advised him that they were going to have to give him some field sobriety tests, and he failed those tests.
And later, he blew a .16 on a breathalyzer.
In New Jersey, that's double the legal limit. Made sure that the 6-year-old was able to get her meal and eat while she waited for grandpa.
is it good?
It's nice.
Can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A.
He was extremely cooperative. Got out of the car, did the field sobriety test. So he was just trying to get home to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And the other officers were able to distract the 6-year-old and so she wouldn't see her father being arrested, because let's face it, it is traumatic.
Trying to go home and go to bed.
you know? No, I got you, man.
It could have been a tragic ending for another family or for this family that we essentially helped Saturday night by taking him off the road.
A+ to those officers who handled the little girl with great care. A+ to the team here at Chick-fil-A for even calling in the first place and knowing something was wrong. And with this father potentially facing not just DUI charges and open container charges, but endangering the welfare of his own child charges, well, hopefully he'll come to realize, especially if he watches the cops and how they handled him and his daughter in that body-worn camera video, the evidence, that this was the best possible outcome for the worst potential danger that he and his daughter in that night. Jason, Shiva?
Yeah, kudos to Washington Township Police, Chick-fil-A workers. They already have such a great reputation for their friendly customer service. So the fact that they were able to help and step in when they were needed is. And now to a developing story.
Under state law, the Department of Juvenile Services is required to refer all violent crime charges to the state's attorney's office rather than releasing children to their parents. But the 15-year-old in this case was only charged with robbery and sent home. DJS does not treat robbery as a violent crime under state law. Fox 25's Mackenzie Frost continues our live team coverage from the newsroom with questions after questioning Mayor Brandon Scott about the leader of DJS today. Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mayor Brandon Scott says that he's frustrated with what we
Smash.
continue to see play out across city streets, but he
You muted?
Yo, you the first one to smash on McKenzie, man. Shout out McKenzie, man. You go, McKenzie, man.
She got kind of
Go
a
ahead,
circle
girl.
face, but I'm okay with that.
You go, girl. We never had a person smash McKenzie, man. McKenzie, you go, girl. I'm proud. Listen, I'm proud of McKenzie, man. Now, McKenzie, she goes in. No, McKenzie is a dog on them liberals, man. She goes hard on them. But no one's
very attractive.
No one's ever said they wanted to smash McKenzie until you just said it. I'm happy for her because I love McKenzie, man. She's a dog, man. She deserves somebody. And there's an ass for every seat, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to McKenzie, man.
Ass lady. The ass for every seat and the ass for every meat.
Oh God! Salute to Gene, man. Gene be in the building, man. Shout out to my man Cornelius, man. He say peace and blessings. Hello to you, bro. Peace and blessings to you too, bro. Yeah, man. Shout out to Tam. Tam in the building. Tam in the building. Tam in the building, man. Shout out to McKenzie. Salute to you, Tam. Appreciate you. Salute to my man KB for taking one for the team, man. We got McKenzie getting some wood, man. McKenzie needed some wood. This is her first time getting a smash, man. And we done did 1,000 videos of McKenzie.
Under state law, the Department of Juvenile Services is required to refer all violent crime charges to the state's attorney's office rather than releasing children to their parents. But the 15-year-old in this case was only charged with robbery and sent home. DJS does not treat robbery as a violent crime under state law. Fox 25's Mackenzie Frost continues our live team coverage from the newsroom with questions after questioning Mayor Brandon Scott about the leader of DJS today. Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mayor Brandon Scott says that he's frustrated with what we continue to see play out across city streets, but he is not saying that the Department of Juvenile Services, Vincent Schiraldi, should step down right now. However, others are, and those calls for Schiraldi's resignation are getting louder.
The disturbing video
continues to shake the community.
There is a palpable sense.
Can I get a warning? What the fuck?
Fear and lack of safety on the streets.
And I mean, we continue to see juveniles commit very violent offenses.
The 66-year-old victim, Bernie, making it clear how he feels.
I think I was a prime target for him, and they waited for an opportunity to pounce.
The 18-year-old suspect, Montez Bailey, remains in custody. Awaiting a bail review. The 15-year-old suspect released to his guardian, despite both having prior arrests, according to the Baltimore Police Department. Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates' office says DJS made the decision to release the 15-year-old on its own. The only notice the top prosecutor's office had was an email stating the juvenile had been released. Mayor Brendan Scott releasing a statement about the Butchers Hill incident, expressing frustration about, quote, this pattern of repeatedly needing to arrest the same young people.
Okay, you muted.
Man, let's be honest, man. What can the mayor do about that, man? What can the mayor do about that? What can the mayor do about that, man?
Me, put him in prison.
Nah, the man can't put you in prison. This is the district attorney, man. Remember, that's these things work a certain way. The city council also can block the mayor from going hard on if the man wants to pass laws that are hard on crime, he has to go through the city council.
I think the mayor could declare a state of emergency or something.
He could advocate for harsher laws if you don't want to keep locking these niggas up. You could just lock them up once and not have to see them again.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. This is sad, but if you ever let me find that beat down on Twitter so I can put it in the comment section.
Pattern of repeatedly needing to arrest the same young people. Monday.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today.
We questioned him about leadership at the state level for the Department of Juvenile Services.
Do you believe that the Secretary of the Department of Juvenile Services is failing the young people of Maryland?
Well, that's not up for me to decide. He doesn't work for me. I'm not going to comment on someone else's executive, but what I will say is that we cannot continue to see these kind of things, and this is things that I've expressed to our partners in the state.
Mayor Scott says he's telling the Baltimore Police Department to continue making arrests, and while he agrees services are necessary for some young offenders,
we also have to have accountability for things that happen, like what happened to that gentleman last week.
We're seeing other people call for Secretary Schiraldi to step down and to resign. With all due respect, you're the mayor of Baltimore City, the largest city in the state. If you were to express your opinion about the current executive, that potentially could carry weight. Why not use that?
Again, I control the city of Baltimore, Mackenzie, and who works for me. What I will say is what I will say to anybody, including my friend, the governor. What I want is to make sure that we have a system that is working and improving.
The mayor not calling for DJS Secretary Vincent Schiraldi to step aside yet, but others.
Yeah, that's what Nick was saying. He could ask for the guy who overseeing the Juvenile Justice Center to step down, but he don't want to do that because he's probably black or some shit. Maybe that guy got some dirt on him too. I don't know. Salute the boy Kachina, man. He says, Ock merch, pepper ecstasy spray grenade with a rainbow glitter glue. Shouts, police and homo. Super loud after attaching himself to the victim. You know what, man? I got to get the crew into the laboratory, man, and work on that tonight, man. ASAP.
Yeah, for all the black people that's tired of seeing these niggas get locked up over and over again, just advocate for stronger laws. That way, you only gotta see them niggas out once. You know?
But every black person know that somebody in their family is one of these things.
Yep. Man, I got a couple niggas like this in my family. That pop was like this.
You said your pops.
Yeah, my pop was a that nigga was a son. He was like, he'd be on one of these stories if he was in his prime.
How old is your pops?
He was 76, so like 47, 48.
Wow, your dad is my age, man.
He's hella
Wow.
young.
Crazy.
Yeah, him and my mom, they like around the same age, like the same year, I think. So they both like around your age.
Yeah, my age was there. Everybody was. That was the cool thing to be a fucking son man back in them days, man. It's the same now, but you know, it just was. There wasn't no internet and shit there around. It was just more organic. Like niggas was really about that shit because you wasn't famous off that shit.
Yeah.
You wasn't gonna get no followers or nothing.
Yeah, you couldn't like become
that shit.
Yeah, you couldn't just go and get clout off this shit to amp your shit up.
Yeah, niggas was just doing that shit off the muscle.
You was an organic son man back then, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was
Governor Moore needs to fire.
Yeah, your dad was a let's say 70, I mean in the 90s. Yeah, he was like, that's the height of gangster.
Yeah.
Gangster rap.
Yeah, he was
yeah.
Okay, bro, he was like a
no, you breaking up too, man.
I'm breaking up. What the fuck? I'm still breaking up.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me move on.
Well, decommissioning of the city's ShotSpotter system is being blamed for the death of a woman over the weekend on the southeast side. The victim's family, as well as a Chicago alderman, believe the woman stood a greater chance of being found alive if the city hadn't canceled that system.
And WGN's Dana Rebick is at City Hall, joining us now with more on this story. Dana?
The family of Sierra Evans is busy planning her funeral, also a vigil that will be held tomorrow night. But they have already voiced concerns over the extended amount of time it took for her body to be discovered, as city aldermen are now also weighing in on the loss of ShotSpotter.
Obviously, we're going to find justice for her. We need to know who did this.
The family of 19-year-old Sierra Evans and city leaders speaking out on a tragedy they feel may have been avoided had ShotSpotter still been active near the scene of her murder.
Peter Chico, the alderman of the 10th Ward, think he remembered that there was a ShotSpotter in that area. So he reached out to Sound Thinking and said, hey, is there still a ShotSpotter there? And did it ping? Although it's not attached to the police department anymore. And they did their due diligence, and yes, it did. And it pinged at 12:56 a.m.
Evan's body found in an alley in the 9500 block of South Avenue N in the East Side neighborhood.
What'd you say?
What? It makes no sense. Why would you even have, like, why would the police not be connected to it? They put it there. Who put it there? What the fuck?
To Sound Thinking and said, hey, is there still a ShotSpotter there? And did it ping? Although it's not attached to the police department anymore. And they did their due diligence, and yes, it did. And it pinged at 12:56 a.m.
Evan's body found in an alley in the 9500 block of South Avenue N in the East Side neighborhood 9 hours later near Claudia Romo's yard on Saturday morning.
That comes to show that we should not take anything like that off. It should be more instead of less. Because you never know when it's going to happen. People that want to kill people are paying attention to stuff like that.
I mean, it's terribly unfortunate when there's any loss of life, especially a young life. As we think about ShotSpotter, there were a number of us who had concerns about it being the best deal for the city, the best product for the city.
Alderman Andre Vasquez, who has been vocal against ShotSpotter and Sound Thinking, its parent company, feels the city is now in a vulnerable position.
So if we knew that we were looking to remove ShotSpotter, we should have had a task force in place, a request for proposal.
Yeah, this is the thing. The man said, get rid of it and we'll figure out something to replace it. No, you figure out something to replace it, then you get rid of it and seamlessly transition into the new thing. You don't just get rid of it and then start figuring out what you're going to do to replace it, idiot. Brandon Johnson is a fucking moron, man.
Wait, what's the huge problem they had with this?
It's racist.
It was on right. Yeah, it's racist. Yeah, it's racist. It brings like the cops to black neighborhoods and shit. It's racist.
Because they're just banging pots and pans.
So I imagine their logic is because all these shootings happen in these areas where black people are at, there's going to be more cops, so they're going to be getting arrested and coming into contact with police disproportionately, which is going to lead to negative outcomes. Okay.
Well said. You got it.
Yeah.
Did you go to college or something?
I went to community college. I'm a regular.
Oh shit, man! It's bad at the community colleges. I worked at one. It's really bad.
I'm a regular son, man.
Competitive bid to identify what comes next, so you don't have any gap in between services.
But at least CPD would have been on the scene and CFD would have been there, whatever, to try to save her.
As the family grieves, we learned of yet another shooting less than a mile away at 2 o'clock this morning. A man shot in the chest, now in critical condition.
And just like today, you saw something happening, they feel comfortable about going back and shooting again.
I just want to know, like, why? Like, why is this happening? Like, the family deserves closure.
We did reach out to Mayor Brandon Johnson's office for comment on all of this, and we did receive a response. This is from Gary and Gatewood, his deputy mayor for community safety, who says our administration is committed to finding effective technology that is proven to work and continuing our collective effort around further reducing violent crime in the city of Chicago. We must have holistic solutions to address root cause problems. Any loss of life is devastating. This is not about politics. This is about how we support families and communities, and perpetuating their pain for political gain is extremely insensitive and immoral. We do know the city has put out a request for information to start the process of finding some sort of replacement technology for ShotSpotter, but many aldermen feel that it could be some time before anything new is put in place. Live at City Hall, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
Yeah, whoever wrote that message is a straight up demon.
Yeah, man. Unbelievable, man. That girl laid there dying.
Well, decommissioning
out for no reason, man. Unbelievable, man.
Good evening to you. I'm Cladra Rhodes. 39-year-old Ebony Gilbert was shot and killed outside of her own home after going outside to confront people who were breaking into her car. 12 News reporter Kayla Shote spoke to Gilbert's family.
Like I said, if somebody was breaking into my car right now, I wouldn't go out and confront them. I would just tell the policeman, call the policeman. Because nowadays, they have somebody, like one of them will be breaking in the car and the other one will have a gun pointed to the door.
What if they steal it and drive away?
I'm not calling the police.
Well, I don't know where you're at, but I don't think the police would do shit where I'm at.
Well, I mean, fine, but that's what I'm doing.
No doubt.
Yeah, man, you can't. You just you gotta know it. Yeah, no, you just gotta know that now. Like maybe years ago you could do that, but now their thing is to have a spotter like point with a gun pointed at the door, waiting for somebody to come out, just in case somebody decides to come out. So you
So
gotta be
basically,
know
so
that.
ba- so basically, you ain't crashing out about that shit.
Nah, man. I mean, listen, I'm letting letting the car. It's a car. Like, think about it, man. Like, it's just a car.
Yeah,
All it is a car. You know.
when my car got broken into like a month and a half ago, I told my stepfather, and he gonna say, "Man, that's why you got your gun license, man. You need to go get you a gun." So next time, and I'm like, first of all, nigga, I wasn't there when they did it. So how the fuck was a gun gonna stop anything? Second of all, uh, I'm not about to crash out about my window getting broken. A nigga break my window, I gotta go let empty the clip off on him. Like, no, I ain't doing this shit.
Did he accept that?
No, I ain't even, bro. When people say shit, I just let it rock, though. I'm not a back and forth type of dude
I
like
got
that.
you.
Yeah, man. Poor woman.
Good evening to you. I'm Cladra Rhodes. 39-year-old Ebony Gilbert was shot and killed outside of her own home after going outside to confront people who were breaking into her car. 12 News reporter Kayla Shote spoke to Gilbert's family, who says she didn't deserve to die that way.
Ebony Gilbert's cousin tells me she's devastated. Her life was taken in a senseless act of violence.
That's how everyone should remember her. Because her smile always lit.
What we doing with this one, man? What we doing with this, y'all?
Dog, are you?
What do you call him, Mark?
Mackenzie's. I call them Mackenzie's, man. That's what I call them.
No, she's not, bro. She's not Mackenzie, dog. It's a wildebeest.
Maybe a Maisha.
It's a Haran Beekwood. It's like a goddamn. Holy shit. Goddamn. She look like I think. She look like fucking. She like James Harrison with a wig on, dog.
It's a rough system.
Yeah, it's a rough system, man. She lost the genetic lottery. First of all, she a dark butt.
Well, maybe she's like hella strong. She could have been like a pro athlete if she really, really tried. You know, I don't know how tall she is, but she looks built.
Yeah,
that's a smash for you, right?
She got them linebacker shoulders. That I could see if you were gonna do the dark butt reporter chick, right? That was on right before her, but not her though. This the John you smash and never tell nobody ever, and then you cry yourself to sleep. Like, yo, I really just did that.
You cry yourself to sleep. Yeah, dog.
That bad.
That's going after you smash her. That's gonna be the longest, most lonely shower.
What would you rather do? Here go what? What would you rather do? Get caught jacking off by, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, people that work and shit, people that, like, you gotta see every day, or get caught coming out of the hotel room with her.
Damn, that's a good one.
Caught by who?
Like, I'm talking about you in there going for it. You in there rubbing one out, and like whole time motherfuckers just walking like, oh shit, you in there like, oh. And
I would choose that. I absolutely choose that.
Yeah. Wait, you said or get caught coming out the hotel with her?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that at all.
Like you coming out the Motel 6,
Yeah,
hugged up
not the whole. Yeah, the
on the
motel.
phone.
Bro,
I'm
like
coming out the red,
that's just a dude right there. I'm sorry.
coming out the Red Roof Inn. I ain't gonna lie, dog. I'm a despicable nigga, dog. I'm gonna take option 2, bro. I'm gonna take option 2. At least
Respect it.
you mean I'm a sun man, dog.
I mean, we really don't know what we're working with here.
And she ain't get up yet, dog. I'm a sun man. She could have a nice little butt, dog. Oh yeah,
Because her
Mark in the
smile
back.
always lit up a room no matter what.
Ebony Gilbert and her cousin Jamie Schenkel grew up very close. Schenkel says Ebony helped raise her nephew.
Mark, man, you Haitian, man. You probably got some stuff for somebody who
Nah. I got some quality. Well, the Haitian women around Florida, they're pretty. It's just the ones in Jersey, it's pretty bad.
I ain't gonna lie, Mark. If you lived in, well, you didn't. You was born here, right?
I was born in the States, yeah, North.
Okay, all right. I was about to say, if you live down there, then she not really that bad for down there.
They got fat butts though. They got some.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all gotta understand, we Sun men, dog. Like it's something about some fat butt cheeks that like throw
I
some.
know.
So.
Bro, I know a couple of Haitian dudes, cab drivers like my uncles and shit. They'll wipe this shit as long as she cooking.
Yeah, like she's not the she has men courting her. Like she probably got multiple baby dads.
She got symmetry. She got the symmetrical face.
Bro, trust me, I know a couple of Haitian dudes. She giving that pussy, yeah.
Yeah,
They definitely with it.
A Haitian dude probably bordered that Cuban link she got on her neck right there too, dog.
I can't do it. I'm too Americanized, so
I can't.
I can't.
What? I mean, how much money would you have to get paid though?
I make her swallow though, but I can't do it. I get.
So you.
I let her give me head. Fuck it.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Yeah, man.
Shit. Look, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. You ask 100,000 niggas, dog. They all gonna say no on camera. Off camera, behind closed doors. Like I know Sun Man, bro. She not lacking for male attention. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Salute.
What?
Ebony Gilbert and her cousin Jamie Schenkel grew up very close. Schenkel says Ebony helped raise her nephew.
She had lost her sister back in 2008. So pretty much she took a part in help raising her nephew. So that was all the kids she needed, really.
And was a very selfless person.
She wasn't loud or outspoken or whatever, but you knew her if we was in a room together, you knew it was her just by the way she graced herself, the way she smiled, the way she talked to people. She was so kind. It was just amazing to watch sometimes.
Gilbert was an active member of New Day Deliverance Wholeness Church in Beaumont.
Just knowing her as a sweet, wonderful person, working in ministry, doing whatever she can do in the service of the Lord.
Bishop Eldridge Charlo Sr. says she didn't deserve to be shot and killed outside her home.
I'm trying to see if they had a picture of her of one of these drinks. That right there, is that her?
Nah.
Not far off though.
No, somebody in the chat said she looked like Shannon Sharp, bro. Yo, she do got that Shannon Sharp level pragmatism, but just with the wig. Like, if Shannon Sharp threw on the wig, he probably would look like her a little bit.
I'm taking Shannon Sharp being better than her, man. I'm not smashing him, but just he looks better than her. He looks better than her.
That's cold.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, think about it, man. I think Shannon Sharp with a wig would look better than her. I mean, it just is what it is, man.
Bro, she got a
Don't
fatty.
at me.
Somebody's hitting that. Somebody's hitting that. So, she got a fatty. Somebody hitting that.
Someone's hitting Sharp too.
Yeah, somebody cracking Shay, so that's the proof of concept right there.
Man.
Ebony Gilbert and her cousin Jamie Shank Church in Beaumont.
Just knowing her as a sweet, wonderful person, working in ministry, doing whatever she can do in the service of the Lord.
Bishop Eldridge Charlo Sr. says she didn't deserve to be shot and killed outside her home on Thursday night.
You come into her property and you break into her car, then you shoot and kill her, then leave her for dead. That's really cruel.
Schenkel says Gilbert worked hard as a plant supervisor to earn her lifestyle.
And the fact that they shot her for defending her property, that wasn't right.
Beaumont police have arrested 21-year-old DeCorey Shiloh in connection.
Shocking.
DeCorey. Yo, I'm sorry, dog. I'm tired of niggas naming kids, man. That's another thing we ain't cut out for this shit, dog. Niggas throw the weirdest prefixes in front of anything, dog.
It's very entertaining though.
That shit could be
Aquarius. Come on.
It's like
John Terrius.
It's like, god damn, yo, can y'all niggas think of something else, bro?
Niasia.
It's not like, oh.
It's our language, though. Like, if you think about it, we've created. That's how languages are created. We've created our own language, like through names and shit, and like that's part of Ebonics. You know what I'm saying? Like putting Mar before somebody's name, or shit like that, or La. That's our unique culture that we've created.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's very unique.
Yeah, I got like the super son name. Like I got the and I got the Vine. So it's like it's
Yes, it's like pronouns and prefixes and shit.
Two prefixes put together.
Yeah, man, I got the straight from the motherland joke. Like I only got the American name. I got the motherland joint. But yeah, listen, my American name Michael. I would have probably been named John Michael or some shit like that, or Love Michael. You know what I'm saying? It would probably be different now.
Yeah, for sure.
In the 70s, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, yo,
Gilbert's murder.
Like when did that shift happen? Because niggas never had names like this before. That's one thing I get niggas.
Wesley and Kevin and shit like that.
Like regular like American names, right?
Yeah. But they were still black names. Like
happened in the 80s.
Even then, though, like it was certain names that black people, like Tyrone, or you know what I'm saying, like certain names, Jamal. Black folk did even amongst those American names have certain names.
What is Willie? Would you call that a nigga name? Like
William is everybody, but being called Willie, that was a black thing. Willie. You had families where it was Donalds, Gary.
Oh yeah, look, Leroy. No, but Leroy got the Lee Jones. So I don't know.
Was a black name. I never seen any white dudes named Leroy, but listen, man, I think that shit happened because when I was in school, Sean and Michael was the two names that was most popular names. Sean, Michael, Kevin, Derek, shit like that, right? And then I would say probably my generation, when we started having kids, we probably started that shit. But it was around a little bit, before that. But I think we took it to the next level with these crazy names nowadays.
Yeah,
People,
because when you look at, I'm just going off of like basketball and shit like that. Because I ain't even trying to do all that research. But when you look at the NBA and NBA niggas in the '80s, I can't think of one nigga that had like a nigga name there.
Yeah, Curtis Gilmore, Spencer Haywood.
Yeah, no, that you right. No, you 100% right. Like
So it had to have, because those guys were born in like, if they were playing in the '80s, they was born in like the '60s, '70s. Well,
'60s or the '50s, late '50s.
yeah, the late '50s. Yeah, and the guys like did niggas have nigga names in the '90s in the NBA? I'm trying to think.
I think when it comes along, you had like Shaquille, right? Shaquille.
Oh yeah, Shaquille. Yeah, Shaquille. Yeah, that's a nigga name. Sure.
Like Keyshawn Johnson, shit like that.
Yep, that started his development. It started coming rapidly.
It was rare though. It wasn't like it wasn't like it is now. Like Jalen is a black name now. And Jalen wasn't around.
It is.
I swear, when I was a kid, there wasn't no Jalen's, man.
There's
was
so many
none.
Jalen basketball players.
Jalen is a black name now. Jalen. I never met one Jalen growing up.
Yeah, it's wild how fast because that's not like a gradual, like that's like damn near some overnight shit. Like
Right, one generation. Yeah, man. One generation. Let's see.
Because I know that pain, and that's something you never get over, you never recover from it. And it's just like flashbacks.
It's pain that is unexplainable, losing a child at the hands of gun violence. But this family knows it. Never thought it would happen to them again. 32-year-old Shaquille Davis, 3 men shot while sitting on a park.
What are the odds of that?
Hands of gun violence, but this family knows it. Never thought it would happen to them again. 32-year-old Shaquille Davis, 3 men shot while sitting on a park bench. It happened around 5 Monday evening near the Lafayette houses. 2 of the men survived. A bullet hit Davis in the head. He died at the scene. His aunt lost her own son to gun violence 24 years ago.
Broken and numb. Because my nephew, he didn't deserve this. He was a quiet person.
Police say Davis was sitting near this playground with 2 friends when a gunman shot from afar. It's still unclear why the men were targeted. Sources tell Pix 11 News detectives don't believe this was gang-related. Why would anyone want to kill him or shoot him?
That's the million-dollar question.
Davis was a loving father of an 8-year-old boy. The 2 were inseparable, his family says.
Everybody loved him. He had a heart of gold, and he would give you the shirt off his back. He had so many friends. How do we tell this kid, an 8-year-old kid, that his father is no longer going to be there? I mean, they were like father and son and brothers.
While they wait to hear word on a motive.
Wow, man, and niggas don't even think about that shit. Nigga kill you at a gas station because you looked at him funny, and just go about his business and never think about the fact that you might have kids or nothing. It just doesn't come up. And I'm a son, man. I promise you, it doesn't cross our minds.
Son, child, he's probably gonna shoot somebody now.
do you think that he was? Because these niggas always say this shit. He was. I don't know. How could anybody possibly do this? Or do you think he might have been active, or
he could have been with the shits?
I look at it like this: being a son, man, being out in the world and seeing how some men react, like it's possible, man. Like these things are possible. Like, we don't know enough about this situation. Usually there's either some facts of the case or somebody will say something that snitch on the person, you know what I'm saying, and tell you like what they was really about. But I still do believe that a lot of Sun men that just get whacked off the humble and don't be about in none of that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I mean I totally like that's yeah. I don't think I can dispute that part, but I'm just asking you from all your time doing this and like what was your gut feeling? Like, do you think it sounds like you think this could have just been, you know, he just ran into the wrong Sunman.
I mean, if he had a lot of friends, that's already, you know, he's putting himself at risk by having a lot of friends.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I done like Sun people and random violence is like I done seen that shit so many times. It's hard for me to believe that niggas ain't just randomly killing each other. But when I say randomly, I mean like over the most dumbest shit or damn near
chance encounters and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
They are concerned about the scaffolding around the buildings near the playground.
With these scaffoldings up, that they were having a hard time.
It's the scaffolding's fault.
They are concerned about the scaffolding around the buildings near the playground.
With these scaffoldings up, that they were having a hard time seeing things. My question to them: are these cameras working? Because if those cameras are working, you'll be able to find something or see someone or see whatever. This family is broken right now. This kid never deserved this. This kid never deserved this. You need to turn yourself in.
An alleged brothel that was shut down by the N.
Oh, man, shit.
Yeah, if you go on, I was looking. I don't know what made me look this shit up, but I was on Pew Research and it was like a survey done on black people. It said like 50% of black people think the police are intentionally not doing enough to solve crimes. Yo, black people, you gotta upload. I'm gonna upload some of these posts, dog. Yo, niggas believe
everything is backwards.
Yo, niggas live in a whole different planet, dog.
Yeah, they do.
The
Like
shit
Bizarro
niggas
World.
believe, it's like, yo, like I don't. This is wild, bro. I was flabbergasted.
I think that's why I like Caitlin Clark, because she's really just kind of exposed that all of that shit.
Yeah, her presence though. She hasn't done any. It was just her presence. She hasn't like advocated for anything. She just appeared in all of the races black women came up.
Which has opened more people's eyes because she hasn't tainted their.
Oh yeah, that's a question
perspective
I
of her.
want to ask you. Do you know great that you know what, man? Let me ask you this question, man, because you being college basketball, coach, right? You a college basketball coach, right?
I played in college, but
Not college, but you
I
coach
quit.
at some
I quit
level,
my
right?
college job.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So tell me this. And you're also white. So I mean, there's that. So being white and in a youth basketball coach, Caitlin Clark and all that she's exposed just from her presence, not even advocacy, just from presence. What are white people saying about this? Because online we hear white people being very careful, like they're like, "Oh man, this is not great. What's happening to her?" Like
I can
what's
answer
happening
that.
to Caitlyn is not. Hold on now. Let me let the white dude answer it. Man. I get to you next, man, Haitian. But like what are white people saying about this? And behind closed doors.
I mean, yeah, behind closed doors, it's pretty apparent. But a lot of, you don't want to bring it up in front of certain people because it'll make them uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, dudes, like every dude, my dad, a random dude I'll talk to at the basketball court, like if I bring it up, they're like, "Oh yeah, she's being targeted."
Now, are they mad about it, or they're just like, "Hey, diddly do, just another thing."
I think if they have any interest in basketball or any, they were into basketball, then yeah, like it pisses them off. But if they don't care about basketball, then it doesn't mean shit.
Now tell me this. When you, like, let's just say you're around a bunch of white people and Caitlin Clark's name come up, can her name come up without talking about the way she's being treated by the sisters? Like, can you just talk for her for like 15, 20, 30 minutes about and that never come up?
No. I mean, yeah, no.
You can't just appreciate her ball, her game, and all that stuff.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. But you just said like 30 minutes. Like, no, I'd be like, yeah, she's dope. You could watch her highlights for a couple minutes. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So
she's generational. I do love her, but like at the women's basketball standard is not very high. That's the problem.
No, but what I'm saying is does her is the story, the way the sisters are treating her, is that like the main part of the story when white people are talking about it?
I mean, I can't answer that. To me, no, it's not. She's dope. She's transformative, a single player, which is incredibly rare. I've never seen it. LeBron didn't do it. He's trying to lie to you and tell you he did, but he didn't. If he did, it was for the worse, way worse.
Okay, so are white people like do they when they look at the way the sisters in the league have behaved, are they putting that like in context with like the election? Is it like part of their politics? Are they like, wow, these black people really don't like us, man. Maybe we might have to rethink about voting for Kamala or something like that?
I mean, yeah, definitely a sizable portion of them. Like, I have a group of like 10 friends from high school that, like someone's getting married or whatever, and we have a group chat.
Can you speak up a little bit, man? You sound like you fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm just laying down. But I would say out of 10, I would say, half of them. Well, not all of them are white, but yeah.
I think he went to sleep. I think he fell asleep.
No, I just got these headphones. They're busted.
Go ahead, Haitian man. Go ahead, Haitian man. What are your thoughts, man?
Well, I went to a Yankee game, and I was sitting next to a glider, and I was, when you was really on the buzz talking about her, and then I was sliding I was betting, and I was sliding. I was like, yo, I hope she do good tonight. This one glider dude was like, man, he came out open. He's like, man, they're always fucking targeting her. I was like, oh yeah, that's my bitch. And I made him feel comfortable. Yeah. There's some gliders that they know she's being targeted. And I like the fact that he was honest, but I think he felt more comfortable because when he was hearing, I was listening to your show talking about her, and I was like, man, they hating on her. My boy right here, he stayed, giving her props. So he felt comfortable. So
did you tell him to subscribe?
Oh no, I did, but it's up to him. But the glider, he used to play ball though. So it's a little different. So he knows that treatment.
Oh yeah, because it is common. That's true. Yeah, it is common. Like the white boys and shit like that. Yeah,
You gotta assimilate.
yeah. You face that treatment too, KB.
I mean, yeah, but it's not. I think men don't. We don't trip like that. Like you'll get laughed at for being culturally different, but it's not a big deal. If you assimilate, then like, yeah, you get invited to the cookout. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah. For more white guys, if you nice, you nice. They don't care. They're like, oh, that white boy good, and that's it.
Yeah, good point.
They
That's
do
more
notice it.
important.
They will. I think brothers do remark. Here's the thing: if you play for a team like a high school or college team, no, it's no big deal. But if you're playing pickup in your city and some white dude roll up in the gym or he roll up on the court on the blacktop,
Yeah.
it is going
Yep.
to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like who? It
I
ain't
think
gonna be
that's
like
regional, Ak. I don't see that
Okay.
where I'm at,
Okay.
but I mean a little bit.
Where are
but
you?
Not
Where
like
are you too? Where are you?
Seattle.
Yeah. See, in East Coast, like in DC, if a white boy would come up the court, nobody's gonna like kick his ass or anything, but they just gonna be like, "Oh shit, we got a white boy." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's way more Suns over there. It's just not that many Suns here.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, Caitlyn getting that work. But yeah, I don't want to go too much on Caitlyn on this channel. But yeah, I just wanted to ask you that question, man, because I'd just be interested in because white people are so careful when they talk
For
about
sure.
her. They're careful. They make sure they don't. Well, I don't know if it was intentional. The girl poked her in the eye. I don't know if it was intentional. The girl said it wasn't intentional, so I just have to trust what she said. And it's like, yo, did you see the video, dumbass?
What happened to Caitlin Clark?
She got a bunch of things, man. We ain't gonna get into it. Man.
Yeah, I'm tired of it.
A bunch of stuff. Yeah, you subscribe to my other channel, man.
But they in the playoffs now, right?
Huh?
They in the playoffs now, right?
Nah, they got ousted out.
They eliminated her.
Damn.
Yeah, she got eliminated.
She sucked.
First at 4:30, a Memphis woman is facing up to 45 years in prison if convicted of an alleged assault this past weekend. Thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. April is on assignment.
I'm Alex Coleman, WREG Street of Patterson, with what happened and what's next for the accused.
Despite her small stature at just 4'11", Jerica Thomas learned it could be a tall order when it comes to fighting the 2 felony charges handed down following an alleged assault. 3 days after her September 26th birthday, the now 34-year-old is accused of using her car as a weapon. Judge Greg Gilbert reading aloud the charges for aggravated assault and attempted second-degree murder. After being appointed a public defender and signing paperwork outlining her bail conditions, she sat with her hands covering her face. But a witness who stepped forward says there's no covering up what it's alleged Thomas did this past weekend after Thomas is said to have been assaulted first. A witness says Thomas went on the hunt for the alleged attacker, finding them walking in a field using her car to run them over. From there, the witness told police Thomas used sticks to hit the alleged victim. Things did not end there, as the 34-year-old is said to have put the victim in her trunk before taking off to Methodist North. Detectives say a broken pelvis, a lacerated...
Yo, hold on, man. This chick, yo, that chick went ham, yo.
is accused of using her car as a weapon. Judge Greg Gilbert reading aloud the charges for aggravated assault and attempted second-degree murder. After being appointed a public defender and signing paperwork outlining her bail conditions, she sat with her hands covering her face. But a witness who stepped forward says there's no covering up what it's alleged Thomas did this past weekend after Thomas is said to have been assaulted first. A witness says Thomas went on the hunt for the alleged attacker, finding them walking in a field using her car to run them over. From there, the witness told police Thomas used sticks to hit the alleged victim. Things did not end there, as the 34-year-old is said to have put the victim in her trunk before taking off to Methodist North. Detectives say a broken pelvis, a lacerated liver, and a spinal fracture resulted in the critically injured victim having to be airlifted to Regional 1. Serious injuries, the judge says, could result in serious time in lockup if she's found guilty. Judge Gilbert reminding Thomas she cannot contact the alleged victim. In lockup is where she will remain unless she can pay her $100,000 bond. She's been ordered back to court Wednesday morning. Reporting for your news leader inside the CJC, Jarita Patterson, WREG, News Channel 3.
And the victim is now listed in fair condition. Thomas has a bail review hearing tomorrow morning.
Sister's different, right? Sister.
Evil,
Built
man.
different, as they say.
Ooh, shit.
The story of the murder of a postal worker.
The mentality that's
Now charged in connection with a gruesome double murder in Frederick County. Our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell joins us live now.
Yeah, Brad, it's taken police weeks to arrest someone in a case that really shocked the community, including even the officers who were working it.
Yeah, look, this was a tough one for sure. But I got to tell you, it took a month, but this guy was the suspect right from the start. We actually asked the sheriff about him within days of the murder because we spotted his name in court records. But the sheriff said they had to build a case. And then they caught him in a lie. He said he hadn't been in Maryland, and they were able to prove that, in fact, he had traveled to Maryland from Florida. Then they found some evidence in his vehicle, and he was picked up over the weekend.
Crimea Baker was, by all accounts, an attentive and loving mom for her 4 kids, moving to this home in Newmarket last spring. Sean Lang, the father of the youngest child, joining the family there, also living in the house on Mandalong Court. The murders of Baker and Lang in that house, shaking even the county's longtime sheriff.
I've never seen anything to this degree. Really, it was unbelievable.
Now, Jenkins says this man is the killer. He's 33-year-old David Turner, Baker's ex and the father of 3 of her kids. Jenkins says he drove from his home in Miami and back to do the crime.
We believe that Turner entered the residence through a back door sometime after 1 a.m. before 1:25 and murdered her and Mr. Lang in the bedroom, firing more than 42 rounds.
Court records show Jenkins lost a custody and child support battle with Baker for their children following their 20.
He lost custody and child support. And he lost custody of the kids, and he had to pay for them. And she fucking another dude, which I don't think is a reason to kill the broad, because now look where you at. But nigga will kill your ass for 1,000 times less.
Was that a switch though, or was that he just shot 42 times? That's a lot.
Yeah, that's 42 times. I mean,
doesn't matter.
42. Yeah,
it's like reload like twice.
Yeah. Whew. Whew. Whew.
2017 divorce. Sheriff Jenkins says he can't say yet that's a reason for the crime.
There's no explanation I can think of that would have justified anything like this. Certainly, we don't have a motive. We can only suggest it was domestic related. Obviously, it was a crime of passion, and Turner must have been so enraged for some reason. Again, maybe we'll find out in the future. Maybe not.
Yeah, Saring said we may never know the motive. Now, the sheriff was asked about the children. He said obviously they endured something terrible being in that home when their mother and her boyfriend were killed. But he says now they are.
Kids was in there and he didn't kill them. Shout out to the Sun Man for not killing the kids, man. I know that sounds kind of weird, but at least that Sun Man didn't kill the kids, man. So
he love his kids.
Glider would have killed the kids, man. Glider would have killed the kids, man. Salute to D from Balls. He said, peace out, panel, guests, and everyone in the chat. Yeah, make sure you support the channel. Hit the PayPal Cash App on the Super Chat.
safe, they are protected, they've got a long way to go emotionally. We've also seen that there's an online fundraising effort right now for Crimea Baker's parents. They are trying to win custody of those children so that they can ensure them a future. In Frederick, Brad Bell, 7 News.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica. The search is on for a woman accused of shooting a man she met on social media. We're live with the latest on the investigation. Plus, the death toll is growing and the devastation is unimaginable in North Carolina. Tonight, crews are still trying to reach residents who've been cut off. And in our one tank trip, we are taking you to a museum that celebrates sports. It's one of the largest collections of memorabilia in the nation, and it's just a quick drive away.
And now the details. Philadelphia police are searching for a woman who shot a man in East Mount Airy. Investigators say the two met on social media and things turned violent. Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson live at police headquarters with the latest on the investigation. Becca.
Rick, as police search for this suspect, they are warning the public that she should be considered armed and dangerous. They say she allegedly shot a man she met on social media after he came to her neighborhood. This is 20-year-old Vanessa Greystone, considered armed and dangerous, wanted in connection with the shooting Monday in East Mount Airy. Police say it happened in this alley off of the 1500 block of East Johnson Street around 5 p.m. The victim, a 29-year-old man, initially told police he was making a food delivery. Sources tell Action News that's not true. It was a social media meetup gone wrong. Investigators found 6 spent shell casings, most at the opening of the driveway where the victim was found. Ezra Walliser heard the shots.
Heard 3 shots, turn around, I see 2 legs sticking out from underneath the front of his car.
Walliser says the victim screamed for help. Several people called 911. Officers scooped the victim and brought him to Einstein Medical Center, where he's in critical condition.
You know, to see something like this happen, it's just really, sad to see that, that's what our world is coming to.
Stanley Stalker said his first reaction when he heard the shots was to make sure his teenage son was safe.
But I am sad that, it's happening in our neighborhood and where children are walking and, it's just not safe. So we're just, hoping things just get better.
Again, police saying that Greystone should be considered armed and dangerous. One distinction, too, from that picture you saw of her. Police say her hair is now red, not blue. Live at police headquarters, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6, Action News. Rick and
What you doing with that, since you always make fun of Philly girls?
Yo, I'm telling you right now, that's probably the same situation with that other son man. He linked up. He got his meat pooped on, and he was like, "Oh no, I don't want nobody signed up."
I'm a pass on Shorty. She looked like without that thing on her head, she look like. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, we got to pass on that. Yeah, let's pass on that. Yeah, we don't want to know. Pass on that shit.
I genuinely thought that was a trans.
I still think it's a trend.
That's what I'm thinking. And he said something, he blasted him.
They just can't say it on the news because it's a bad look.
He had him a night. He's like, "Oh snap! I got an exotic tranny with blue hair. Gonna get my meat pooped on all night."
Yeah. On that though, man. Yo, same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Salute, y'all. Good night.